Naruto God Level Majin Buu, Chapter 541 to 560. 541 The Real Break. Open black lens bracket, close black lens bracket. Sasuke looked at Naruto without evading, and said coldly, "A person like you who has no parents or brothers, how can you understand my thoughts? Naruto, I admit that you are my best friend, but that's all from the past. From now on, I will cut off this bond and start my new path. Even if this road leads to endless darkness and abyss, I do not hesitate," Sasuke said. When Naruto saw Sasuke's state, his eyes flashed with amazement, but he quickly responded to Sasuke, "Sasuke, no matter what you think, I always regard you as my best brother. It is your existence that makes me work hard and earnestly pursue my Hokage dream. From the beginning, I wanted to grow up chasing your dreams." Naruto looked at Sasuke seriously and replied, "I am not without parents, this time I also met my father, so I understand the life and death of losing a close relative. I am not without brothers, because in my heart you are just like my brothers." Sasuke was moved. Naruto's words were so sincere that Sasuke had to be moved. Chen is also very clear in his heart that Naruto's attitude has always been very optimistic and positive, which is the exact opposite of Sasuke. So under such circumstances, the dark side of Sasuke's heart gradually narrowed when he met Naruto. However, at this time, Sasuke's heart was already extremely determined. Chen sighed softly. Naruto's character is indeed a bit surprising. Naruto's optimistic attitude made Chen narrow his eyes. No wonder Naruto can rely on mouth escape to retreat from the enemy in the original work. In fact, Naruto there is such a charm in his character, which makes one have to be impressed. But for someone with a firm mind like Chen, it's useless. The same goes for Sasuke. At this time, when Sasuke faced Naruto, he had already decided what to do next. Sasuke looked at Naruto coldly, and said lightly, "Naruto, everything is over, I will cut the bond between us with my own hands." Own hands. Hearing Sasuke saying this, Naruto couldn't help but be stunned, and then he saw that Sasuke took action. A chakra burst out of Sasuke. Sasuke showed his strongest state. Sasuke showed a force, which made the three tomo of his eyes show, and Sasuke's eyes became the state of three tomo. Sasuke. The art of impatience. But when Sasuke opened his mouth and spit, flames came out, spread out like a balsam, and attacked Naruto. The battle between Naruto and Sasuke finally unfolded and kicked off. Chen watched from a distance, but he was stunned. He noticed the battle between Naruto and Sasuke, and Chen narrowed his eyes, feeling infinite emotion in his heart. The two finally came to this point, began to part ways, followed by things can be expected. Although Chen's appearance has greatly changed the plot in the original work, there has not been much change between Naruto and Sasuke, or even possible. Both of them follow the plot of the original book without any changes. Between Naruto and Sasuke finally kicked off. Beginning to the end, Chen was watching the battle. For Chen, this battle was like a fight between children, so Chen himself lacked interest, but he was still watching. It's finally unfolding, and when it's over this time, everything should be on the right track. Chen whispered to himself and said softly. Below, the battle between Naruto and Sasuke has become more and more intense, and the battle between the two is showing a crazy situation. Among them, Sasuke has already used the state of Curse Seal 2-2, and Naruto is also the first to use the Tail Beast Coat. A tail. In this case, Naruto and Sasuke are evenly matched, and their strengths are really similar. Naruto. Sasuke roared. The Chidori in his hand had turned black and white, producing a strong nature transformation, attacking Naruto. At this time, Naruto already had some features of Kyuubi, 9 tails, his eyes turned bloody Yuhi color, and his anger was soaring. He condensed Rasengan with just one hand, and collided with Sasuke, a strong burst of anger. Light emerges. After half a sound, in the smoke and dust, Naruto fell. In this battle, After all, Sasuke won by half, and Naruto has lost. Sasuke stood in front of Naruto with a hint of coldness in his eyes. He raised the kunai in his hand and wanted to resign to Naruto, but he quickly shook his head and whispered to himself, Uchiha Itachi, I will not follow the same path as you, I must win you. Orochimaru must not be your opponent, but Uchiha Chen must be far above you. When I find Orochimaru, and then find Uchiha Chen, it will be your death date. Sasuke clenched his fists and whispered to himself. In Sasuke's thoughts, going to Orochimaru is only his first plan. What he wants to find most is Chen, because after seeing Guochen's earth-shattering strength, Sasuke is completely yearning for Chen's strength. There was only one thought in it, that is, I hope to see Uchiha Chen again, follow him, and gain strength beyond Uchiha Itachi. Sasuke glanced at Naruto, clenched his hands, carved a scratch on his forehead, and finally left. Naruto fell into a coma. Chen did not appear until after Sasuke left. Chen looked at the direction where Sasuke was leaving, laughed dumbly, and said to himself, Uchiha Sasuke, do you want to find me? Really, it's interesting. Chen didn't expect that Sasuke was going to find him. Well, let's see how you will reach me, Uchiha Sasuke. Chen whispered to himself, narrowing his eyes. 542 The action of Obito and Nagato, the plan to capture the tailed beast is about to begin. In all fairness, Chen actually has no prejudice against Sasuke and Naruto. Naruto is Minato's son, but Chen takes care of him without affecting his plans. As for Sasuke, Chen also didn't care. In fact, Chen somewhat understands Sasuke's current Chunin character. Sasuke has been influenced by Tsukuyomi since he was a child, and suffered the fate of his entire family being killed. Before he collapsed, it already shows that his psychological quality is strong, and he would be crazy early if he were an ordinary person. But although I don't care about Sasuke and Naruto's current situation, once Sasuke and Naruto threaten him, that's another situation. Chen is not a character who will show mercy. Sasuke left, and Chen's figure quietly appeared in front of Naruto. Chen looked at Naruto's current situation, but there was no serious problem, but his whole body was burned by chakra, and the shape of the tailed beast's coat seemed to have brought a great load to Naruto. Chen checked Naruto's state, and used medical ninjutsu to treat Naruto. Naruto quickly recovered, and Chen nodded secretly. Soon, Naruto woke up. Chen, brother Chen. Naruto looked at Chen with a hint of astonishment in his eyes, and then looked at Chen, feeling quite shocked and grateful. Brother Chen, why are you here? You are here to save me. Naruto, take a good rest. Chen whispered. Where's Sasuke? Brother Chen, have you seen Sasuke? Naruto was stunned for a moment, and immediately asked again. Chen shook his head slightly. He is not here. It seems to have left. Sasuke. Naruto lowered his head, with a look of sadness in his eyes. Naruto really regarded Sasuke as his brother. At this time, seeing Sasuke really leave, he felt unspeakably uncomfortable. Sasuke's departure, the break between Naruto and Sasuke, caused an indescribable estrangement between the two. Naruto was silent, and his spirit was even a little sluggish. Naruto. Since you want to get back Sasuke, you should improve your strength. Only improving your strength is the most important thing. The enemies you will face in the future will be very strong. Chen said lightly. Yes. Naruto looked at Chen seriously and nodded vigorously. I will definitely work hard and improve my strength. Well, you are the son of 4 generations, don't let your father down. Chen ordered. Yes. If that's the case, then I'll go first. When Naruto was no longer in danger, he said lightly. Hearing Chen's words, Naruto was stunned for a moment, and then a deep color flashed in his eyes. Well, that's good. Chen's figure flashed, and he didn't speak anymore, and disappeared directly in place. Chen's figure disappeared, leaving Yi stunned, almost thinking that what he saw just now was an illusion. I really envy brother Chen's strength. No wonder even Sasuke yearns for it so much. For this reason, I have to gradually become stronger. At this time, he saw Naruto clenching his fists, being infected by Chen's preaching just now. He nodded earnestly. At this time, Chen finally returned to the land of rain. In the country of rain, the rain is constant, and Chen feels that everything is normal in the country of rain. Chen arrived in the high tower in the country of rain and sent a signal to tell the girls that he had returned. Not long after, I saw Kurenai Yuhi, Konan, Kushina, and Makoto, 4 daughters, also come to greet Chen on the tower of the land of rain. Kurenai Yuhi, Konan, Kushina, and Makoto came out to greet them, and Rangchen was quite surprised. Looking at this, Kurenai Yuhi seems to have a good relationship with Makoto, Kushina and other women, which makes Chen feel a little more at ease. He brought back Kurenai Yuhi, just a little worried that Kurenai Yuhi can't get along with Makoto, Kushina and others. Now it seems he was thinking too much. But despite this, Chen still saw Makoto clearly, and Kushina's eyes flickered slightly when he faced Chen. It seems that with some doubts, he is asking why Chen brought Kurenai Yuhi back. Chen also quickly explained and said, "You all know Yuhi. Yuhi is my former student. Yuhi has a very good character. This time I must follow me when I leave Konoha, so I will take her in. You all know each other." Hearing what Chen said, all the girls nodded lightly, and then they were relieved. "Yuhi, don't be restrained. Everyone will be sisters from now on." But I saw that Kushina first expressed her welcome to Yuhi. Kushina is currently in Chen's harem, which is somewhat similar to the main palace. Her words are very authoritative. When she said it, everyone welcomed Kurenai Yuhi. After this was over, news of Tatsuya's return quickly spread throughout Akatsuki. Konan immediately told Chen, "Brother Chen, Uchiha Obito and Nagato have said before that they want to see you when you come back. Oh, go tell them I'll be waiting for them in the council chamber." Chen said lightly. Obito and Nagato seem to have an idea. Counting the time, it's almost there. Since seeing Chen's strength, Obito and Nagato have shown great strength to Chen, and they have been honest for a long time, but now looking at the progress of the plot, the battle of the End Valley is over, and the two are also there should be some movement. Chen's guess was correct. Obito and Nagato were already preparing for something. After Chen agreed to meet the two of them, Obito and Nagato rushed to Chen's face, bowing their heads to Chen respectfully, and said, "Boss." Well. Chen glanced at Obito and Nagato, and nodded slightly. "Boss, I think we should almost implement the tailed beast capture plan. This plan doesn't matter whether it is beneficial to you or us. First collect the 9 big-tailed beasts, and you will have the capital of the Master Ninja world." I only heard Obito staring at Chen Dao with burning eyes. 543 Chen's trump card. Open black lens bracket for automatic reward. Close black lens bracket. Obito looked at Chen, his eyes burning, with a bit of madness. There is a reason why Obito behaves like this. Uchiha Madara has told Obito everything. According to Uchiha Madara, he already has an idea in his mind, that is, to collect the 9 tailed beasts first, and then combine the power of the tailed beasts into one, and finally use Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, creates 10 tails, and then becomes 10 tails Jinchuriki, column force. Time, Uchiha Obito will also have the power comparable to the 6 paths immortal, and become one of the most terrifying beings. At that time, Obito doesn't have to be afraid of Chen anymore. This is also Obito's own thought. In fact, the 9-tailed beasts must also be collected, which is also the necessary way to unlock Kagaya-Heim, because only the 6 paths realm can cast God. World of Trees Wall, so using the 9-tailed beast is a must. Of course Chen is also very clear about this. Since Kagaya-Heim will come out sooner or later, it must be within Chen's controllable range, so Chen thought about it carefully, but he doesn't mind starting to collect tailed beasts. It's fine. Chen thought about it, and already made a decision. But seeing Obito and Nagato staring at Chen at this time, I hope Chen can agree. What Obito is thinking about is his infinite Tsukuyomi plan, while Nagato is bewitched by Obito, who single-mindedly wants to control the nine-tailed beast, so as to create a super-nuclear weapon, to control and maintain the peace of the ninja world. Nagato and Obito thought so in their hearts. Hope Chen can give them an answer. Chen did not disappoint them, but said, I see, now we can start the capture plan of the 9 big-tailed beasts. Catch the 9-tailed beast, but Chen doesn't want to do it by himself, because once the 9-tailed beast is caught quickly, the plot will progress too fast, and the current Chen is not Kagaya Haime's opponent. So Chen still needs a little time. Hearing Chen's promise, Obito and Nagato were both refreshed, with joy in their eyes. Chen said that he could start a plan to capture the tailed beast, which made both of them very excited. Once they start catching the tailed beast, then Nagato and Obito will have the opportunity to get out of Tatsu's control and complete the plan in their hearts. When Tatsuya sees Nagato and Obito's eyes twinkling, he knows that these two guys are thinking what he didn't point out. Let these two guys think. Obito and Nagato had a disagreement. Tatsu knew that, but everything was under his control. Obito and Nagato thought that Chen didn't know their cards, but in fact Chen was clear, including all the masters, any actions of Obito and Nagato. Chen was clear. Obito, Nagato. Chen Lo, pass my order. Akatsuki will officially implement the tailed beast capture plan from today. 2 people will act in groups to capture all the 9 big-tailed beasts, and then use Geto Mazo demonic statue of the outer path made 10 tails. Yes. Hearing Chen's words, Obito and Nagato nodded in unison, and the eyes of the two flashing joy, completely obeying Chen's decision. Obito and Nagato left, but Chen smiled softly. These two are really examples of betrayal. Ain't that right? In the original book, Obito betrayed Uchiha Madara, and Nagato also betrayed Obito. Both of them are not trustworthy people, and in Chen's opinion, they are not as good as Uchiha Itachi. Tatsu's order has been conveyed, and Akatsuki's members are divided into 2 groups. A group of Chen and Konan. Deidara with Sasori, Oni and Uchiha Itachi, Obito and Nagato, Kaku, all are responsible for the post and finance, acting alone. There are also 2 elders of the Uchiha clan, the 2nd elder and the 3rd elder, who are responsible for sitting within Akatsuki and are most trusted by Chen. With this, Akatsuki's plan to capture the tailed beast finally begins. However, although the plan has begun, what is about to be faced next is a series of sequences of capturing tailed beasts. Of course, Chen doesn't need to take action. After all, if Chen takes action himself, the tailed beast basically has no resistance, then there is no way to play. 10 tails are summoned in advance, and Kagaya Haime is released, but it is not beautiful. So Chen's attitude is to let it go, let Guisha and others complete this task, and make a detailed plan before completing the task. After explaining these things, Chen turned his attention to other places and left alone. Brother Chen, what are you looking for? Konan asked in confusion when he saw Chen's action. Chen chuckled. I'll go see Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path. There's a reason why Chen went to see Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path. Because there is an important person, who is being bound by Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, at this time. That is Rin, Obito's favorite wilderness Rin. Chen flashed, and when he arrived at the place where Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, was stored, he saw Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path's body like a huge tree high, hundreds of meters, winding and winding on it. There are 99 eyes, and at the same time it seems to be broken and very divided. Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, looks hideous and terrifying. Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, has been channeled by Nagato for a long time now. And Chen has been sealing Yuan Yi Rin's body in the interior of Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, and using chakra pipes to put it into Yuan Yi Rin's body. Chakra entered Yuan Yi Rin's body, which gradually restored a trace of vitality in Yuan Yi Rin's body. Wild Rin is now finally different. Yi Rin S body was in a state of rapid evacuation, but now it has been completely changed, and it is no longer the current situation. Chen nodded slightly and whispered to himself, Yuan Rin, I'm afraid you don't know the situation now. When you wake up, I will give you a big surprise, no matter what. Obito or Kakashi, you'll be amazed. Rin's physical condition returned to the state, with the supply of Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path chakra, coupled with Chen's chakra belonging to Yangdun. Yuan Rin's body almost completely recovered, only one step away. Can wake up. Reward. 544 Chen's yin and yang escape. Rin, I am really looking forward to seeing what Kakashi and Obito will look like when they see you alive. Chen said softly, a faint look appeared in his eyes, narrowed his eyes, and whispered to himself. Chen is really looking forward to what kind of scene Kakashi and Obito will see when they meet Yuan Rin. Yuan Rin lay quietly, with a serene expression, like a water lily indifferent to the world. Slight smile on the corner of Chen's mouth, looked at Yuan Rin, and turned his eyes to the field, as if muttering to himself, Yuan Rin's current situation, it will take some time to recover, just right, I also take advantage of this. I have a good opportunity to improve my strength and meet the next situation. Chen said to himself, a faint color flashed in his eyes. Chen thought for a while, glanced at Yuan Rin, and communicated with the Six Paths Immortal. But I saw that the Six Paths Immortal also communicated with Chen at this time. Boy, how long have you been looking for me? That's enough. The voice of the Six Paths Immortal appeared. Yes, now the wings are hard, even my master can abandon it. The Six Paths old man was suffocating and his voice was uncomfortable. The Six Paths old man hummed softly, very dissatisfied. Listening to what the old man Six Paths said, Chen He smiled and said, Old man, don't complain so much. Didn't I come here to find you, like a grudge? Chen said this, the old man of Six Paths hummed softly, and even more angry. Immortal Six Paths snorted coldly, Boy, how dare you say that? How can you treat your master like this and call me a grudge? Immortal Six Paths almost vomited out a mouthful of old blood, snorted and said coldly. Chen Yi smiled and said, it's okay, old man, don't complain, I'm not just describing it casually, you are still very good. HMPH, don't come to comfort me. Six Paths said angrily. By the way, old man, I want to ask you something about yin and yang. Chen roared. I knew you were looking for me for this kind of ninjutsu thing. Six Paths roared, furious, and raging. In an instant, Chengdu was taken aback by the lion's roar from the old man Six Paths. He felt that the old man was really hot-tempered, but thinking about it, whoever Ten was locked in the small dark room and faced the small ring would not be able to get better. Chen said, Okay, old man, don't complain, I came to ask you specially. I can be considered a master of the yin-yang power of yin-yang dun, but I need to bring out the power of yin-yang dun, and I need your help. After Chen got the Tomo and Yang of Yin, his strength soared, breaking through the sixth Tomo Rinnegan, and his strength also reached a new height, which can be said to be extremely powerful. Chen's current strength is already the Rinnegan of the sixth Tomo, the strength is strong, and the Six Paths is in the middle stage. At the same time, Chen relied on the two treasures of Tomo of Yin and Rosary of Yang, and the power of body and Yang escape was also greatly increased. Currently, it can be said that the power of his Yin and Yang escape is already very strong. However, at present, except for the six people, almost no one can perfect the master yin-yang escape technique, only the legendary Six Paths Immortal, who uses this yin-yang escape technique to become stronger and stronger, and there are even rumors that the Six Paths Immortal uses yin and yang escape created this world. Therefore, the Six Paths Immortal himself is definitely the owner of the strongest yin and yang escape. That's why Chen Yi will spare no effort to ask the old man Six Paths for yin and yang escape. The old man of Six Paths pondered for a while, snorted softly, and said a little proudly, with your boy's talent, you should also ask the old man for advice on yin and yang escapes. Hey, the old man finally encounters something that you also find difficult, which is really pleasing. Can you shut up, old man? It's too wordy and skip these boring words. The corners of the Six Paths Fairy's mouth twitched and hummed, extremely annoyed. Chen, this guy is really disgusting. It's really a careless take-in. I don't know how to take care of the elderly at all. Immortal Six Paths snorted softly. Boy, you are quite clear. The yin and yang escapes you used before were all relatively low-level yin and yang escapes. The real yin and yang escape is to use the power of yin and yang in the body to stimulate creation and destruction. In this regard, Indra and Asura have unique advantages. Chen nodded secretly when he heard it. Naruto and Sasuke in the original book both quickly mastered the power of yin-yang escape, which is precisely because they are the reincarnations of Asura and Indra. Chen is not the reincarnation of the two, nor does he have the natural blood of the Otsutsuki family, so he only relies on himself. But this kind of relying on one's own strength is the strongest. Soon, Immortal Six Paths began to explain. Yin and yang, the two ways, achieve all things. World, Shinra Bansho, all creation, can be condensed into yin and yang. The Six Paths Immortal told the story completely, and explained the simple things in simple terms, and let Chen also listen with great interest. I only saw that with the explanation of the Six Paths Immortal, Chen also began to act, and there were amazing changes in Chen's body. Chen's body, a breath of aura appeared. This breath was earth-shattering, constantly breaking through, and circling and rising, forming a great force. This force rose and circled, flowing around Chen's body. It belonged to Chen. The power of Yin-Yang Dun. When Chen listened to Yin-Yang Dun's explanation, he also moved with it, and soon Master learned some tricks and had a hint of enlightenment. Then I saw the yin and yang escapes in Chen's body, like a river that opened the gates and released water. Rushing out, the floods erupted, turned into torrents, and flowed out, forming the most terrifying force of yin and yang in Chen's body is displayed in his body. World, Shinra Bansho, all creation, are transformed into yin and yang. Male is yang, and female is yin. Mountains are yang, and water is yin. The sun is yang and the moon is yin. Dry is yang, Kun is yin. And scenes appeared in Chen's eyes, only to see the amazing changes in Chen's body. To read the novel without underline. 545 Sun and Moon in the palm of your hand, Master Universe. I only saw that after hearing the explanation of the Six Paths Immortal, a faint brilliance appeared in Chen's eyes. Between the flashes of his eyes, Chen seemed to have realized something. His eyes were extremely bright, and he felt a stronger and stronger breath of yin and yang. It turned out to be like this. Chen felt the power of yin and yang, and the performance of his body became stronger and stronger. The power of yin and yang lingered on Chen's body, causing Chen to feel the power of each and every force. Chen felt comfortable in his heart, and he seemed to suddenly realize what the Six Paths Immortal meant by the power of yin and yang. At this time, I only saw Chen's body move, and without warning, it began to float in the air, and a stream of heat burst out. A powerful aura showed. In Chen's body, the power of yin and yang leaked out, created an extremely dire situation. The surrounding small stones and other objects were all absorbed, floating in the air, pouring out madly, and showing up. This kid, he realized the way of yin and yang so quickly. However, he saw a flash of shock in the eyes of the Six Paths Immortal, and it quickly disappeared, but he stared at Chen. The Six Paths Immortals were totally blown away. Because Chen's talent is too amazing, to understand the way of yin and yang with the master so quickly, and he uses it very quickly, it's really scary. This talent is too high. The Six Paths Immortal knew that Chen's talent was very strong, but he never imagined that he could reach such a state and level. Even the Six Paths Immortal himself was amazed and shocked. Of yin and yang, it can be said that the Six Paths Immortals press the bottom of the box. In the original work, he gave Naruto and Sasuke the power of yin and yang respectively, and Naruto and Sasuke used the power given by the immortal Six Paths, and thus defeated Uchiha Madara and Kagaya Hime. Of yin and yang escape is absolutely terrifying and shocking. At this time, the master has the power of yin and yang. Although Chen is not the reincarnation of Indra and Asura, there is no innate advantage in yin and yang, but relying on his own unique understanding, Chen also shows a special strength. The power of yin and yang burst out, making him become completely different. I only saw that there was a mutation in Chen's body. In the palm of Chen's left palm, a pattern of the sun appeared, glowing with circles of golden light. On the other hand, in the palm of Chen's right hand, there is a pattern of the moon, and the pattern of this moon is even more unique, glowing with purple light. One left and one right, it turned out to be the sun and the moon. Universe, the sun and the moon are all in the palm of your hand. This is also the change brought about by Chen's comprehension of yin and yang escape. The strength displayed by this yin and yang escape is by no means ordinary. The power of the yin and yang escape is revealed. The beauty, at least, makes Chen feel extremely unique. The power of the yin and yang escape makes Chen himself feel like eating ginseng fruit, very comfortable, even. In my heart, I also felt a little bit of an air of immortality. Universe, the sun and the moon, the yin and yang are ever-changing, and everything is in the master of Chen. Master Chen followed the way of yin and yang, and the power of yin and yang on his body burst out. In an instant, a chakra belonging to yin and yang rose into the sky, and this chakra ran wild, making everyone look uniform change. At the same time, Uchiha Itachi, Oni Shark, Nagato, Obito and others all felt the terrifying aura, and all looked in the direction of the tower, where Tatsuya was. The ghost shark was walking side by side with Uchiha Itachi, and suddenly saw this burst of chakra, and was completely stunned, only to see the ghost shark with a low-wry smile. This is the movement made by the leader, it's really scary. Ah, fortunately, I am also called a tailless beast, claiming to have the strongest chakra, but compared to the leader, I am as weak as an ant. Ghost Shark whispered to himself, looking at chakra in the distance, with a look of awe and interweaving in his eyes. Even if the Ghost Shark saw this scene, it was absolutely shocking. Hearing the Ghost Shark say this, Uchiha Itachi around him silently stopped talking. The reason is very simple. Uchiha Itachi's chakra volume has always been a cup, and it is a tragedy within a tragedy. Not to mention compared to Chen, even the Ghost Shark is too far behind. Uchiha Itachi glanced at the sky silently, coughed lightly helplessly, and said to himself, they are also from the Uchiha family, why is there such a big gap in chakra? Nagato and Obito are both stunned, and they can't help but look up. Looking at Chen's chakra, both of them sighed extremely in their hearts and were filled with emotion. Nagato sighed and said, the teacher's strength has increased again. I really deserve to be a teacher. This kind of strength can only be looked up to by me. Obito's eyes flickered and he was a little surprised, but more than that, he was not reconciled. Damn, why every time I am with him my strength is getting bigger and bigger, I really don't understand. Uchiha Obito murmured, clenching his fists. He suddenly felt that, according to this situation, the gap between him and Chen is getting bigger and bigger, and if it continues like this, I am afraid that even Uchiha Madara will not be Chen's opponent, and it will not be able to restrain Chen. Who can stop him? Obito's heart is filled with deep sorrow. As for Deidara, Kaku, Toto, Sasori, and others, they were completely shocked by the yin and yang that Chen showed. With the power of yin and yang, Chen's strength has grown again at this moment. The most excited people are Konan, Kushina and others. Kurenai Yuhi even felt the power of Chen, only to know that the strength of Chen is like a vast star. Those eyes that looked like Yuhi gems were always focused on Chen's body, and they never looked away. Chen's body showed the power of yin and yang escape. One hand was yin, the other was yang, and his body even exuded two kinds of brilliance, golden and purple. And automatically fly to remind you. 546 The Conspiracy of Black Zetsu. Open black lens bracket for automatic reward. Close black lens bracket. Boy, you have actually realized the power of yin and yang. You only took so short time to become master, really. Immortal Six Paths wanted to complain, but found that he was completely speechless, just immersed in Chen's powerful strength, he could clearly feel the progress of Chen's current strength. "Old man, I would like to thank you for your guidance." Chen smiled lightly. "Don't say it, I'm going to cry. I just said a few words casually. Who would have known that your kid's comprehension is so amazing, and even the master who can escape so easily has arrived." "But I heard the Six Paths Fairy whisper." The words of the Six Paths Immortal made Chen do speechless, and he did not expect that he would even become a master of yin and yang escape. This strength is indeed not to be underestimated. Moreover, when comprehending the yin and yang escape, Chen had an epiphany feeling: the overall strength has indeed risen more than one step. "I don't know to what extent my current strength has reached, but the yin and yang escape in my body has been stimulated, and I can use the yin and yang escape more powerfully in the future," Chen whispered. There is no doubt that yin-yang dun is the strongest of all escape techniques. In the situation of the same level, the power of yin and yang escape is absolutely the first, absolutely shocking and terrifying. The power of yin and yang escaping appeared, lingering by Chen's side, and Chen realized the principle of yin and yang escaping for a while. One hand day, one hand month. They represent creation and destruction, respectively. These two powers are lingering in Chen's hands, and Chen can use the yin and yang escape technique at any time. These two escaping techniques were displayed, and the power that erupted lingered around Chen, who turned and glanced at Obito, Nagato in the distance. At this time, Obito and Nagato felt an overwhelming pressure attacking. Chen used the power of destruction this time, which made Obito shocked and felt a deep shock when facing it. Both Obito and Nagato felt a strong pressure. This strong pressure seemed to carry the power of destroying the sky and destroying the earth. It was completely different from what they had seen before. It was full of aura of destruction. Under this strong pressure, Obito and Nagato couldn't help but take a few steps back. But Obito and Nagato are both experts. Even among Akatsuki, they are in the forefront, especially Nagato. At this time, the Six Paths Pain appeared beside Nagato, helping to resist the pressure from Chen. Chen glanced at Obito and Nagato, put away his coercion, and did not move. Obito and Nagato let out a long sigh of relief, feeling the sweat dripping down from their bodies, and sighing again and again, even more surprised when they faced Tatsuki. Chen was satisfied with the yin and yang of his newest master, smiled lightly, then stopped looking at Nagato and Obito, turned his eyes back, and said lightly, "If you are in a hurry to collect tailed beasts, you must ask me about anything before you can do it. There is action. Itachi, your younger brother Sasuke has taken refuge in Orochimaru." Conan follows some of Sasuke's updates. Yes. Conan taps. The head and the lips indicate that they know. Uchiha Itachi also looked at Chen and nodded slightly. Uchiha Itachi was very grateful for Chen's attention to Sasuke's activities. "That's it, it can be over, that's all," Chen said lightly. Yes. Everyone left in unison, each with their own plans. Chen got the power of yin and yang, and his strength was further improved, but he felt more and more how difficult it was to improve the Six Paths level. Today's Chen seems to be climbing the top of the mountain, getting closer and closer to the top of the mountain. The road is getting steeper and steeper, surrounded by cliffs and cliffs. There is only one way to go. But this road is also full of thorns, and Chen climbs more and more slowly. If you want to stand at the top, how can it be so simple? Chen, your current strength has reached the bottleneck stage. If you want to go further, you must come into contact with similar strengths. The best way is to compete with opponents of the same level. War. But I saw the Six Paths Fairy whisper. Chen shrugged. How could he now have an opponent who can fight against him in the entire ninja world? I am afraid that the only ones who can fight against him are only the three immortals of the three holy places. Except for the three immortals, Chen did not have any enemies or opponents. No, it seems that there are still people who can threaten me. Chen's eyes flickered slightly, but he remembered a person, that is Black Zetsu. Black Zetsu. Nagato, Obito and the others all stepped back. Nagato and Obito looked at each other, and they were both shocked by the strength Chen just showed, and they were silent. Obito and Nagato are temporarily separated. Obito was left on the spot. He thought for a while and said, "Absolutely, come out." Soon as he finished speaking, he saw the figures of Black Zetsu and White Zetsu split from the ground. At this time, Black Zetsu and White Zetsu were combined, like a big tree, appearing on the ground. Obito. Both Black Zetsu and White Zetsu looked at Obito, and White Zetsu snorted softly. What a terrifying power of yin and yang. Uchiha-chan's strength growth is indeed beyond the expectations of countless people, it's incredible. Yeah, who would have thought that he was so strong? Black Zetsu was also amazed, and said in a low voice. Regardless of was Black Zetsu or White Zetsu, I didn't expect Chen's strength to be so strong, and even comprehend the yin and yang. Growing up in such a state, even if Madara is resurrected, I am afraid that it may not be Uchiha Chen's opponent. In the future, our Moon Eye plan will be completely ruined. White Zetsu whispered. Black Zetsu nodded slightly, his eyes flickered. In fact, Black Zetsu was even more worried, and even felt a little angry. Uchiha-chan was almost like he was halfway to kill Cheng Yaojin, delaying his plan to resurrect Kagaya. Damn Uchiha-chan, it seems that it is impossible not to deal with him. Black Zetsu thought to himself, as if he was thinking about some conspiracy. 547 in 4 years, Hayate's biography opens. Black Zetsu is different from White Zetsu and Obito. Black Zetsu is transformed from the will of Kagaya. It can be said that it is even the third son of Kagaya except Six Paths and Otsutsuki Hamura. So Black Zetsu has been trying to release Kagaya, which is his ultimate mission. To this end, Kagaya also prepared many whole cards and gave them all to Black Zetsu. In order to ensure that Kagaya can be released, Black Zetsu also carefully planned. White Zetsu and Obito's idea is simple, just take advantage of Nagato's outsiders at the right time. The technique of Rinne Tensai, Samsara of Heavenly Life, resurrects Uchiha Madara, and uses Uchiha Madara's power to fight against Chen, implementing the infinite Tsukuyomi plan. But right now, this path seems to be a little off. Because with Tatsu's strength getting stronger and stronger, both White Zetsu and Obito have felt that even Uchiha Madara may not be Tatsu's opponent. The Rinnegan who has opened the 6 Tomo, and the strength has become extremely strong, reaching the 6 Paths level, even stronger than Uchiha Madara. Therefore, the situation is already the most difficult state. At least in the eyes of Obito and White Zetsu, the current Chen is too difficult to deal with, and Chen has almost no weaknesses. Maybe we can start with the women around Uchiha Chen. It seems that there are many women around Uchiha Chen, such as Konan, Kushina, Terumi Mei, Tsunade. White Zetsu said in a low voice, his eyes twinkling, and he suggested. If there is any weakness of Uchiha-chan, it is too affectionate. This is indeed a weakness. White Zetsu said. That's right. Obito narrowed his eyes, as if he was thinking, but after a while he shook his head slightly and said softly, but you must know that none of the women around Uchiha-chan are easy to provoke. Konan, Uzumaki Kushina and others like Tenten are all around him, we have no way to start. And Tsunade, Terumi Mei, these 2 women are even more terrifying, and even hold a large country in their hands. If we are not careful, we will be completely lost, and the danger is too great. Obito doesn't know that Chen's women are weak, but if you think about it, it seems that none of Chen's women are weak, especially Tsunade and Terumi Mei. Maybe they will even be defeated. If Chen finds out, then but it is an extreme crisis. This risk cannot be taken. Thinking of this, Obito sighed. Uchiha Chen is really terrible, even the women around him are so difficult to deal with, and everyone is so good. There's really no chance. Obito made repeated calculations, and in the end he only shook his head and sighed with emotion. It can only be said that Chen has almost no flaws, and the strength of the 2 sides is too different, making Obito feel that it is almost impossible to deal with Chen. Black Zetsu was also thinking on the side. He spoke, but his eyes flickered. He clearly had an idea. Black Zetsu thought to himself, if I want to deal with Uchiha Chen, it seems that I have to have a whole card. Summon that one, then possess him. The body, deal with Uchiha Chen. Black Zetsu thought to himself. Kagaya Hime gave Black Zetsu a lot of trump cards, but she tried her best to revive her. After all, resurrecting Kagaya Hime is also the ultimate goal of Black Zetsu, and there is no way to prepare for it. Black Zetsu wants to deal with Chen, and plans to use his strongest trump card. After all, with Chen's strength, other trump cards would be useless against Chen. Black Zetsu is also very aware of this, so he intends to use the strongest ultimate move. Thinking of this, Black Zetsu's heart moved, and he has already started to plan. Uchiha Chen is now preparing to collect the 9 big-tailed beasts. I must not let the 9 big-tailed beasts all fall into the hands of Uchiha Chen. Otherwise, Uchiha Madara will not be able to. Resurrection. Mother's resurrection is far away. Black Zetsu thought. Black Zetsu thought about it, and he has already started to plan. He has to make detailed plans and layouts, and he must deal with Chen. As soon as Uchiha Chen's tailed beast capture plan starts, I will deal with him immediately. Well, it just so happens that it will take a long time to prepare my trump card. I am really looking forward to it, Uchiha Chen. Black Zetsu secretly said, with a sinister smile on his face. Time flies. Chen didn't rush to start the tail beast capture plan, because Chen spent a long time practicing yin-yang escape. The pattern of yin and yang that appeared in the palm of Chen Qian's hand is a bit similar to the taste of awakening yin and yang, but to exert the strongest power of yin and yang, you still need to practice. After all, Chen is not. Indra and Asura are reincarnated like that, so they can't completely escape from Master Yin and Yang. Fortunately, after these few years, Chen's Yin and Yang escapes have made rapid progress, and he can skillfully use Yin and Yang escapes, which greatly increases Chen's strength. 4 years passed in a flash. Chen Yi finally gave the order to start the capture plan of the tailed beast, and let everyone start catching the tailed beast. Original book. Tatsuya sent the art duo, Sasori and Deidara, to capture the one-tailed Manjinchuriki column Riza no Shukakugara. Deidara and Sasori in action. And this also means that the Hayate biography in the Hokage world has officially begun. This year is also the most exciting stage in the world of Hokage. Naruto and Sasuke have grown up, and it is getting closer and closer to the resurrection of Uchiha Madara and the appearance of Kagaya Hime. For 4 years, let Chen stand on the top of the ninja world, overlooking all beings in the ninja world, and has already surpassed everyone. Finally, it's coming. When the 9 big-tailed beasts are collected, the real battle will begin. Chen's eyes are far away, standing on the highest tower of the Rain Country, looking at everyone from afar. Chen, I saw Kushina, Makoto, Konan, Kurenai Yuhi and others all looking at the figure from a distance, with admiration in their eyes. 548 Tailed Beast Capture. Open black lens bracket, please reward close black lens bracket. Dispatched Sasori and Deidara, and the two finally got into action, heading to Sunagakure village. Chen was always looking in the direction of Sunagakure village. He knew that after 4 years this time, Gaara's strength has also grown very strongly, worthy of being a Jinchuriki column force. Gaara at this time, the kid from the past has become Kazekage. Such a terrifying strength is indeed extraordinary. Shukaku of a tail of sand is what I have in my pocket, and no one can take it away. Chen's eyes flickered slightly, and he whispered to himself. Chen has long regarded the Shukaku of the sand as something in his own bag, collected all the 9 big-tailed beasts, then unlocked the seal of Kagaya Hime at the right time, and finally solved Kagaya Hime. This is Chen's idea. Therefore, it is imperative to collect the 9 big-tailed beasts, so that the 9 big-tailed beasts are all under their control. QB 9 Tails is already in my hands, but QB 9 Tails is friendly with me, and the Yin-type QB 9 Tails cannot be used. Look at the Yang-type QB 9 Tails situation. Chen thought of QB 9 Tails. Anyway, Kyubi, Nine Tails, has helped him several times, but Chen will not betray Kyubi, Nine Tails, and he has a very good relationship with Kyubi, Nine Tails. That being the case, the Kyubi, Nine Tails, matter will be discussed later. Gaara, I don't know if you will escape this disaster like in the original book. Chen whispered to himself. Sunagakure Village. At the entrance of Sunagakure Village, Sasori looked impatient among the fiery amber. This guy Deidara must not be fully prepared this time. Damn it, made me wait so long. Deidara. The sky, only a white giant bird appeared, and Deidara was standing on top of the white giant bird, controlling the white giant bird. The white giant bird made bursts of cries and released explosive clay to deal with Sunagakure Village. I saw Deidara's laughter followed by the sound of the explosion. Well, I finally infiltrated Sunagakure Village. This is a perfect infiltration. Thanks to that guy Sasori's information. Cage Gaara, right, this time I'm going to bring you back so that the leader can also see my strength. Deidara smiled and shouted, art is to explode, drink. With a loud bang, there was an explosion sound all around. The sound of the explosion was earth-shattering, and the surrounding area was directly blown up. The violent sound shook the entire Sunagakure village, and even saw a figure quickly from the cage building. Escape. Oh, it's finally out. 5 generations of Kage, Gaara, Aikido Jinchuriki, Column Force. But I saw Deidara chuckle and stare at the figure in front of her with narrowed eyes. I saw was a young man wearing a blue and white cloak, not tall, with an indifferent look. This young man had short hair and a big love on his forehead. Who are you? You dare to trespass on my sand? Gaara looked at each other cautiously, feeling the strength of Deidara. Deidara smiled coldly, swept Gaara across with electricity, and said lightly, I am a member of Akatsuki, codenamed Xinglong. Deidara was wearing an Akatsuki outfit with a black background Yuhi cloud, and her temperament was rather gloomy. For a time, all the senior members of Sunagakure village looked at Deidara with solemn expressions. Distance, there was Konkuro, staring at Deidara with a strange look in his eyes. Akatsuki. Gaara was stunned, he had never heard the name of this organization at all. Akatsuki, but it seems that there are people in this Akatsuki who have the same strength as the other party. When thinking of this, Gaara snorted coldly and said indifferently, no matter what. What kind of monster are you? The person who trespassed in my Sunagakure village, I will not make him feel better. Saying that, Gaara gathered yellow sand all over her body, and suddenly surged from all directions. These yellow sand spread and formed a big hand, heading towards Deidara. Deidara raised her brows, and manipulated her big white bird to start to avoid. It's really worthy of being a human being. Jinchuriki Column Force. This ability to control the sand is really convenient, Deidara was very emotional, and at the same time saw Gaara attacking Deidara. Because Gaara was worried about the power of Deidara's detonating clay and the safety of Sunagakure village, Gaara was facing great difficulties when confronting Deidara head-on. And Deidara also found a problem. He found that he had misestimated Gaara's strength. Gaara's strength should not be underestimated, but he did not bring enough blasting clay. Thinking of this, Deidara also frowned. It's a bit troublesome. If the mission is not completed this time, the leader will blame it. Thinking of Chen's strength, Deidara shuddered in her heart and was terrified. He must win the battle for Shukaku of the Sand. Deidara quickly found a way to deal with it. If that's the case, then I'm welcome. 3 bombs, 18. Deidara made a puppet bomb. The puppet bomb suddenly appeared and was dropped by Deidara, and in an instant, the situation changed. The puppet bomb exploded with a loud bang and began to explode. The entire Sunagakure village shook and shook for a while. However, the power of the explosion was not as strong as Deidara imagined, and only saw the appearance of yellow sand, blocking the power of the puppet bomb in a very small space. The people around were relieved, especially Konkuro and the others, secretly said, finally resisted the explosion. It's really not easy, otherwise Sunagakure village will be killed. Oh, what can I do? Unexpectedly, I actually used sand to form an absolute defense and resisted my attack, but I don't know how it will be. At this time, he saw that the sand resisted Didera's explosion, but Didera used the power of the explosion to break through the absolute defense with a row of small spiders made of clay, and exploded within Gaara's absolute defense. With a bang, Gaara was directly blown up and seriously injured. If you want an automatic reward to watch the underlined version of the novel. 549 Chen dispatched. Bond and change. Open black lens bracket for automatic reward, close black lens bracket. But after seeing Didera wounding Gaara, Gaara completely lost his combat effectiveness, and is no longer enough to compete with Didera. However, under such circumstances, in order to avoid the loss of Sunagakure village, Gaara still tried her best to use her last strength to transfer the aftermath of the explosion using the yellow sand to other places, so as to avoid the loss of Sunagakure village. Didera was a little surprised when she saw this scene. She raised her brows, and Gaara still acted, but said lightly, I heard that Kazekage Gaara of Sunagakure village is a ruthless person, but now it seems that is not the case. Ah, it seems that something has changed you. Didera sighed softly, but saw that Gaara had lost his chakra, finally completed the last step, and then fell straight down. Didera controls the white giant bird and grabs Gaara directly under the giant bird's claws. Didera smiled. The mission is completed. It seems that it is really a successful infiltration plan, But it seems like it's been a long time. I guess that guy Sasori is a little impatient. Didera smiled, then looked at everyone in Sunagakure village, and said indifferently, in that case, I will accept this person, Jinchuriki column. Spoke. Didera rode the white giant bird and rode away in the wind. All the ninjas in Sunagakure village were too late to stop them, and they all watched Didera leave in stunned eyes. Gaara. Kankuro looked anxious, roared, and immediately chased out. Beside Kankuro, several ninjas from Sunagakure village also chased out. Not to mention Didera and Sasori. At this time Naruto, Sakura, Sai, Yamato and others also found the secret base where Orochimaru was and went to find Sasuke. At this moment, Chen stood beside the high tower, and seemed to have a feeling, and glanced at the direction of Tianjiguo again. Naruto and Sasuke. Chen whispered to himself. Chen. At this time, Kurenai Yuhi walked towards Chen, stood beside Chen, and whispered. At the same time, I only saw Kurenai Yuhi holding a cloak in his hand, and subconsciously put it on Chen. Chen glanced at Kurenai Yuhi. It was getting late, but Kurenai Yuhi hadn't rested yet. Chen whispered, why don't you go to rest? Kurenai Yuhi said softly, I don't think you are resting, but you are talking about the names of Naruto and Sasuke here. These two children, I know, are two special children in Kakashi's class, and you seem to take them seriously. Kurenai Yuhi puts clothes on Chen. Chen smiled and took the initiative to hold Kurenai Yuhi's. A warm and jade-like feeling came, and the corners of Chen's mouth curled into a smile. Since this time, Tatsu and Yuhi's relationship has been getting better and better, and finally took the last step. Today's Kurenai Yuhi is already one with Konan, Kushina, Makoto and others, all of whom are Tatsu's women. With regard to Chen's intimacy, she was a little shy, and glanced at Chen lowly. A soft smile appeared on the corner of his mouth, but his face was involuntarily ashamed of Yuhi, and turned to Yuhi. Chen smiled and said, yes, the two children of Sasuke and Naruto are indeed very unusual, at least in my eyes. The future achievements of the two of them are limitless. Oh! A look of astonishment flashed in Kurenai Yuhi's eyes, leaning gently against Chen's embrace, a hint of surprise in his eyes. With Chen's strength, to actually say such a thing is enough to prove how extraordinary Naruto and Sasuke are in Chen's heart. What kind of existence are Naruto and Sasuke, and how can they be able to evaluate Tatsu like Kurenai Yuhi's eyes like a pair of Yuhi gems look at Tatsu? But seeing Chen lightly smile, he said, you will know in the future, the two of them will definitely exude different scenery. Well. Kurenai Yuhi nodded, not questioning Chen's opinion at all. She completely believes in Chen. At this time in the land, outside the secret base of Orochimaru, Naruto finally met Sasuke, and before meeting, he had a battle with Orochimaru. Under such circumstances, Sasuke and Naruto finally meet. At this time, both Sasuke and Naruto have grown a lot, and their strength has grown by leaps and bounds. After 4 years, the original chicks have grown into eagles, soaring freely in the sky. Naruto and Sasuke finally met, and Naruto persuaded Sasuke again, but Sasuke remained unmoved. Sakura's heart was broken, while Naruto's anger rose, a bit of anger, and a bit of helplessness. Sasuke said coldly, "Naruto, I admit my bond with you. But you should know, I cut this bond with my own hands during the Battle of the End Valley. I now have a new bond with that man. I must kill him. Orochimaru has told me that Uchiha Itachi is now in the Land of Rain, joining a very mysterious group called Akatsuki, of which he is a member. So in the next moment, I'm going to find him." Sasuke said coldly. "Naruto, I hope you don't have to come to me next time. I won't go back to Konoha." Sasuke said indifferently. Hearing Sasuke say this, Naruto sighed softly with a sad look in his eyes. Naruto knew how deep the hatred in Sasuke's heart was, and also knew that since Sasuke said so, he must have no hope of pulling Sasuke back to Konoha village. Thinking of this, Naruto's heart was full of sadness. "Goodbye, Naruto. I'm going to kill that man now, and when we meet again, it might be life and death," Sasuke said, with a tone of alienation and indifference, so that Naruto could hardly recognize him, and Naruto also had a vague feeling in his heart. Naruto felt that Sasuke was no longer that Sasuke. Sasuke leaves. At the same time, Chen stood on the high tower of the Land of Rain, and seemed to have a feeling, and said lightly, "It seems that I should almost make a move." 550. Do you regret it? Open black lens bracket for a reward. Close black lens bracket. Naruto and Sasuke's meeting this time made both Naruto and Sakura very disappointed. Sasuke has left far away, and only Naruto, Sakura and Sasuke are left. The three of them look at each other in dismay. It happened once by accident. Sasuke. At this time, I heard Sakura's voice. Sakura's voice was a little sobbing. It was obviously sad because of this incident. Who would have thought that Sasuke had not seen him for 4 years, and his personality had changed so much that he almost became another person. In the face of Sasuke's departure, only Yamato and Sai remained calm. They were outsiders after all, and they knew the situation better. This time, the search for Sasuke was unsuccessful, and Naruto and Sakura had to return to Konoha. And at Konoha, a mission awaits them. Back to the village, they were immediately told to go to the Hokage building, and 5 generations of Hokage summoned them. Hearing the news, Naruto, Sakura and the others rushed to the Hokage building, where Tsunade was already waiting. Tsunade stood in front of the office and said indifferently, "I have heard about your search for Sasuke, but the current situation, let's put the search for Sasuke for a while. I have another important task entrusted to you. Cage in Sunagakure village, Gaara has been arrested. The opponent is a single person, wearing a black trench coat with Yuhi cloud on it, claiming to be a member of an organization called Akatsuki." Tsunade rode. "What? How come? Akatsuki, organization from Sasuke, and now I hear it again," which made both Naruto and Sakura stunned, completely stunned, and Naruto also realized that this matter is not easy. "Then what are you waiting for? I'm going to save Gaara," Naruto said seriously. Hearing what Naruto said, Sakura nodded quickly. "Very well, Kakashi will join you this time to track down the whereabouts of this Akatsuki organization," Tsunade said lightly. "Yes." Hearing Tsunade say this, Kakashi, Naruto and Sakura formed a team together, and they rushed towards Sunagakure village impatiently. At this time Tsunade knew that Chen had established a power in the Land of Rain, but he didn't know that the power was called Akatsuki, so it was Oolong who caused this incident. "Naruto, Sakura, and Kakashi 3 rushed to Sunagakure village to reinforce. At this time, the situation in Sunagakure village was indeed not optimistic. The reason why we say that the situation in Sunagakure village is not optimistic is because after Kasuke Gaara was kidnapped, Sunagakure village was in a situation of no leader in an instant. And Kankuro went after him, trying to retake Gaara. But instead, he met Sasori and was stabbed by Sasori's crimson flow. The poisoning was deep and the situation was in jeopardy. After Sakura arrived, he first released the poison in his body, so that Kankuro was temporarily out of danger. Sakura's medical ninjutsu at this time was taught to Tsunade, and the medical ninjutsu was extremely powerful. With her help, Kankuro was finally freed from danger. Immediately afterwards, Naruto, Sakura, and Kakashi 3 finally joined the reinforcements and began to pursue Deidara and Sasori. Deidara is the first to arrive at Akatsuki's secret base, all of which are modeled after Orochimaru's base. After Deidara reached the base, she immediately contacted Tatsu. But at this time, Chen had already set off, and Akatsuki was temporarily handed over to Nagato to preside over. Nagato gathered everyone in Akatsuki, and at the same time, they saw their projections appear, all standing in a row. "Hey, Nagato, why are you the leader?" Deidara was surprised, because he still wanted to show some merit to Chen, but he didn't see Chen, so he couldn't help but feel a little depressed. "The leader and Uchiha Itachi have already come to you, and the leader said that there will be some troublesome guys on your side." Nagato said lightly, "The chief is very dissatisfied with your actions this time, it's too slow, Deidara." As soon as Deidara heard this, cold sweat broke out, and a look of stun flashed in his eyes, and said, This time, I just wasn't prepared enough, I didn't bring enough clay, Hearing that Chen and Uchiha Itachi were rushing towards him, Deidara's eyes showed a hint of astonishment and she quickly explained. "You can leave this to the leader. Let's take Aikyu away from the hand of Jinchuriki, call him force before we talk about it." At this time, Obito said lightly. "Finally got the first tailed beast," which represented a big step forward for the Infinite Tsukuyomi project, and Obito was a little bit secretly excited. I see. Deidara said angrily. Everyone began to work together to pull the tailed beast away, and the shukaku of one-tailed sand was pulled out of Gaara's body. At this time, Tatsu and Uchiha Itachi have also approached Akatsuki's stronghold. Chen and Uchiha Itachi walked side by side. Chen glanced at Uchiha Itachi, only to see that Uchiha Itachi was always silent, his expression was indifferent, with a bit of coldness. "Itachi, when you left the Uchiha house alone, killed everyone in the clan, and shouldered the sins of this whole body, did you ever regret it?" At this time, Chen asked softly. That Chen has always been curious about. Having seen Hokage so many times, he has always wanted to ask Uchiha Itachi what he was thinking. Only to see Uchiha Itachi's footsteps, and his figure stagnant for a while, Uchiha Itachi whispered, "Yes." The answer was beyond Chen's expectations. "But I saw Uchiha Itachi whispering. I have thought countless times, what would have happened if I changed my mind at the beginning? I was in torment every day. But things are already like this, and I can't change anymore, I can only look forward. My only thought now is to see Sasuke again, give my power to Sasuke, and let Sasuke inherit Uchiha's glory." There was remorse and relief in Uchiha Itachi's voice. Chen Yi smiled. "Want to see Sasuke again? This time, there should be a chance." 551 Kakashi, do you want to die? Open black lens bracket for automatic reward. Close black lens bracket. Hearing Chen's words, Uchiha Itachi was completely stunned, looking at Chen with a bit of stunned eyes, but he didn't expect Guochen to care so much about him. In fact, Chen is also very curious about what kind of scene the brothers will meet when they meet. Sasuke's strength is still too weak now. If I really meet Sasuke, I think I should do something to him. But I heard Uchiha Itachi whisper, only by making Sasuke hate me, can his strength be improved. Uchiha Itachi is very thorough in many things, and his ideas are very mature. Chen nodded slightly, agreeing with what Uchiha Itachi said. It can be said that Uchiha Itachi really worked hard and sacrificed everything for Sasuke's sake. For the entanglement between the two brothers, Chen does not intend to intervene. However, in the current situation, the top priority seems to be to find Deidara and complete the seal of the tale. Chen was wearing a mask at this time, wearing Akatsuki's costume, and even changed the details with the transformation technique, and now no one can recognize him. Soon, Tatsu and Uchiha Itachi find Akatsuki's stronghold, and Deidara is in it. Deidara saw Chen, respectfully, and immediately said to Chen honestly, "Chief." Well, one tail caught it. Chen glanced ahead, only to see Gaara's body lying on the ground. Gaara had lost his vitality and signs of life at this time. Shukaku of a tail of sand was pulled out of his body and entered Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path. On Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, one eye is open. Apparently, after absorbing the power of one tail, the power of Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, increased significantly, opening one eye. "Good job, Deidara," Chen said lightly. "Thank you for your compliment, boss." Deidara nodded vigorously. In Deidara's view, it was an honor to be praised by Chen, and he was completely excited. "Your hand is broken, right? It seems that Gaara is quite capable." Chen glanced at Deidara's arm. It was broken by Gaara's sand. Chen's hand moved slightly, a burst of Yongdun's power was aroused, and an astonishing scene appeared in an instant. Deidara's arm was completely spliced back by Chen. And Deidara's arm injury is also healing quickly. This amazing power is terrifying. Deidara was naturally grateful, and Uchiha Itachi looked shocked. Regardless of was Deidara or Uchiha Itachi was shocked by Tatsu's hand. Can make Deidara's broken arm recover quickly. What kind of power is this? Naruto can use the power of Yangdun to create an eye for Kakashi, and it is nothing for him to do so. At least in Chen's point of view, there is nothing to be commended for this. But Deidara looked stupid. At this time, there was only one thought left in Deidara's mind: thigh, must hug. Thighs. Following a strong man like the leader, it's not enough to drink spicy food, and even a body that has been injured to such a degree can recover, so there is nothing that can't be done. Thinking of this, Deidara is excited. "What about Sasori?" Chen asked lightly. "Leader, Sasori is still there. Halfway through, it is said that a few small flies followed, and Sasori is in charge of fighting them and helping me delay time." Deidara responded. Chen nodded slightly. At this time, his chakra was also fully opened, and the power of Piran swept out, and he sensed the situation. It turned out that it was Kakashi, Naruto, and Sakura who arrived. Along with it is Tatsu's former opponent, Chiyo, who was an old opponent in World War II. At this time, Chiyo and Sakura are working together to deal with Sasori. At the same time, Kakashi and Naruto are waiting for an opportunity to attack. "Deidara, you can step back in a while, thanks for your hard work," Chen said lightly. It seemed that he planned to deal with Kakashi and Naruto himself. As soon as she heard that Chen was going to do it herself, Deidara's eyes lit up, full of anticipation, and finally saw the leader do it again. Over there, Sakura and Chiyo have already met Sasori. The Sasori at this time is different from the original, even stronger and more terrifying than the strength shown in the original, because Sasori was brought to the moon by Chen, and after seeing the puppet technique passed down by Otsutsuki Hamura, his strength has already reached the peak. Sasori was able to deal with Chiyo and Sakura alone, and seemed to be able to handle it with ease. And Kakashi came with Naruto towards the stronghold of Tatsu and others. Soon, Chen saw the figures of Kakashi and Naruto, only to see Naruto's eyes flashing, and a faint brilliance appeared, and said, "I found it." "Naruto, don't act rashly, there is a master ahead of you." Relying on his Sharingan, Kakashi suddenly saw Uchiha Itachi. Stunned for a moment, his eyes burst with surprise, and looked at Uchiha Itachi and Chen in complete surprise. "It's you, Uchiha Itachi." Kakashi looked at Uchiha Itachi in horror. Uchiha Itachi. When I heard the name, Naruto was also shocked. Because Naruto knew about Sasuke's past, he knew how terrible Uchiha Itachi was and what kind of existence Uchiha Itachi was to Sasuke. Unexpectedly, I could see Uchiha Itachi here, and Naruto stared at the man in front of him, as if he wanted to see through him. On the contrary, it was Chen, because Chen wore a mask and deliberately restrained his breath, so he seemed very low-key. As for Deidara, she had listened to Chen's words and hid it. Uchiha Itachi frowned, looking at Shang Chen at this time. In front of Chen, Uchiha Itachi didn't dare to make trouble. Chen let out a chuckle under the mask, and said lightly, "Kakashi, I didn't expect you to be able to chase here, it seems that you are underestimating you. But Kakashi, you came here so rashly, do you want to die?" 552 You are Uchiha Madara, mad Kakashi. Kakashi, you want to die when you say this, your eyes are cold. Among the Konoha crowd, only a few Namikaze Minato, Tsunade, etc. Tishin had affection for these people. The others are strangers to Tatsu, so when Kakashi finds Akatsuki's stronghold, Tatsu narrows his eyes, determined to teach Kakashi a lesson. This time also used transformation technique to cover up his Rinnegan. After all, the characteristics of Rinnegan are too obvious, and it is almost the symbol of today. As soon as these words came out, Kakashi and Naruto both felt a strong pressure, and this pressure came, making both of them feel like they were in an ice cellar, almost suffocated, and felt the terrible pressure. "You, who are you?" Kakashi spoke with a bit of difficulty. He had absolutely no information on Chen in his mind, and he didn't know where this person came from. The person in front of him seems to have a higher status among Akatsuki than Uchiha Itachi. Just now, even Uchiha Itachi was asking for his opinion. Who is he and how strong is he? These are like question marks in Kakashi. Circling in the heart. Kakashi. Chen looked at Kakashi, his eyes flickered slightly, then he saw an indifference flashing out, and looked at Kakashi coldly. At this time, under the transformation technique, the eyes have become Sharingan. "Sharingan, who are you?" Kakashi looked at Chen in shock, but saw the three Tomo in Chen's eyes constantly spinning, accompanied by a powerful yin escape, which shocked Kakashi extremely. "Sharingan, you are also from the Uchiha clan." Naruto also reacted immediately and knew Chen's identity. "Naruto, don't look him in the eye, he is super strong, Sharingan is by no means ordinary. Close your eyes and leave the rest to me." Kakashi roared, reminding Naruto. Naruto closed his eyes as he said, but his heart was extremely nervous. "Kakashi-sensei, are you going to be alright?" "It's alright." Kakashi forced himself to calm down. "It's okay." Chen chuckled under the mask. "Kakashi, are you sure you're fine?" With the voice, Chen's Sharingan kept turning, and finally met Kakashi suddenly. Chen was merciless this time, and planned to teach Kakashi a lesson. Magic, a mountain of swords and a sea of fire. This is a demonic illusion created by Chen, and the power of Yin Dun is used in it. The power of Yin Dun burst out, and in an instant, the explosion of Yin Dun is seen. The powerful force makes Kakashi shocked and completely moved. Kakashi is in another fantasy world in an instant. Even when this Hayate biography opens, Kakashi has Mangekyo Sharingan and his pupil strength is greatly increased, but he is far from Chen's opponent. It is quite real, although it is not a world created by Tsukuyomi, but it is better than a world created by Tsukuyomi. In this fantasy, in the realm space, love has Chen Lai master. And Kakashi's hurt and pain in this fantasy world are all real. Kakashi felt the danger of the situation. He had almost no resistance in this fantasy space. He felt a powerful force, and he was even weaker. The other party seems to be the endless and deep ocean of Wang Yang, while himself is a small boat on the sea, it will be overturned at any time, and it will be killed. Dangerous and terrifying. Kakashi, didn't you say it's okay? Why do you look so embarrassed? Chen's faint voice came from the illusion space, pervasive, and came from all directions. Kakashi even broke out in cold sweat, feeling the sturdiness of the other party. How can you win this way? Although you got precious Sharingan, even Mangekyo Sharingan, but you don't know how to use it, it's really sad. Chen shook his head and said, the power of Sharingan is definitely not something you can imagine, nor is it something that someone like you who doesn't have the blood of the Uchiha family can get. Chen's expression moved slightly, and he saw a strong pressure coming, and the space in the illusion became even more terrifying. Fire, the endless hell, and the suffocating temperature were completely shocking, which made Kakashi feel a shudder and even terrifying, and even the hair stood up. Ah! In the illusion, Kakashi felt an overwhelming force, screamed in agony, and his body and limbs seemed to be pierced by 10,000 swords. In reality, only a moment passed. Kakashi fell directly to the ground, sweating profusely. He didn't know what was going on, but he was stunned by Chen's demonic illusion. Kakashi completely lost his fighting power and fell to the ground softly. Who are you? As far as I know, Sharingan can have, and there are only two people who can have such pupil power, one is Uchiha Chen, and the other is the legendary Uchiha Madara. But your pupil power is different from Uchiha Chen, this power is too sinister and domineering. Are you the legendary Uchiha Madara? Kakashi said in a low voice. At this time, Kakashi was completely collapsed by Chen's blow. It can be said that the current Kakashi is completely abused by Chen Wan. Kakashi-sensei, are you alright? Naruto closed his eyes, completely unaware of what was going on, and immediately said nervously. Naruto is very worried about Kakashi, afraid of Kakashi accident. However, Kakashi didn't say anything. Naruto opened his eyes subconsciously, wanting to see what happened to Kakashi, but when he opened his eyes, he found that Kakashi was lying on the ground, in extreme embarrassment, sweating profusely, and his face pale, after saying this. After that, I fainted directly. If you want an automatic reward for watching the underlined version of the novel. 553 Chen's Mokuden, wood style. Kakashi-sensei, are you alright? Naruto quickly helped Kakashi up. His heart was shocked, and his eyes were even more surprised when he looked at Chen. Uchiha Madara, Kakashi teacher said you are Uchiha Madara, the legendary Uchiha Madara who fought with the first Hokage at the end of the valley. Naruto looked at Chen with a look of astonishment. Chen actually understood a little bit. The reason why Kakashi admits him wrong and thinks that Tatsu is Uchiha Madara is actually because Tatsu used the power of Yin-Yun just now. The essence of strength is different from that of Chenping. The power of Yinden destroys domineering. It is very biased, and the power attribute is very extreme. And Kakashi felt the power of Kuochin, and knew that this power and the power of Chen's own are essentially different. Master, Yin escaping power after Chen comprehends the Yin-Yang escaping power. Domineering, destructive, and full of terror. This is the symbol of the power of the shadow, and it makes sense for Kakashi to mistake Chen for Uchiha Madara. Huh. Chen did not deny or admit it, but it was still up to them to misunderstand. No matter what. Are you Uchiha Madara or someone else, you are actually treating Kakashi-sensei. Naruto was angry at this time, but he didn't know that the person in front of him was the elder brother Chen he respected the most, and he was completely angry. With Naruto's anger, Naruto was quickly covered with a layer of tailed beast coat. 4 tails burst out in a row. Yuhi's orange chakra showed, and Naruto's whole body also had Kyubi, 9 tails trend. Uchiha Madara. Naruto shouted angrily, and was about to move towards Chen. Chen glanced at Naruto and was a little surprised. Is it actually a tailed beast? It's a pity that it didn't become a perfect human Jinchuriki, column force, it's still a long way off. Well, let's subdue you first. Chen glanced at Naruto, who turned into a tailed beast, and said lightly, Mokuden, wood style, the art of forest restraint. Then I saw Mokuden, wood style, appearing all around. Big trees rose from the ground. Trees and vines all formed a bond, creating vitality and strength, completely restraining Naruto's movements. On the other hand, Uchiha Itachi has a look of surprise in his eyes. This is the first time Uchiha Itachi has seen Tatsu use Mokuden, wood style. That's not the legendary Kekkei Genkai of the first Hokage. How could Mochin think that too many special things happened to Chen, and Uchiha Itachi was relieved. In his opinion, with Chen's strength, he was surprised to be the Grandmaster Mokuden, wood style. But it wasn't anything shocking. In fact, this is indeed the case. After Chen realized Yin and Yang done, his body was completely different, and the power of Yang done in his body surpassed that of Senju Hashirama at the beginning. Mokuden, wood style, needs is nothing more than combining Doden, earth style, and Suiten, water style, to create a brand new Kekkei Genkai. Now Chen has broken this bondage, he is even Kekkei Mora, let alone Kekkei Genkai. So, under such circumstances, it is really not a big deal for Chen to use Mokuden, wood style. First of all, it was violent. Kakashi, let Kakashi fall directly to the ground. You must know that Kakashi, who was killed by Tsukuyomi in the current Kaka, is not the same strength. Kakashi, who was killed by Itachi Tsukuyomi in the original book, is because Kakashi is weak and has absolutely no comparison with Uchiha Itachi. But the current Kakashi already has the Kamui power of Mangekyo, and Tatsu didn't use Tsukuyomi, but just used his own demonic illusion to abuse Kakashi. Kakashi fell to the ground twitching, and fell down in just an instant, not at all Tatsu's opponent. Chen used Mokuden, wood style, to restrain Naruto, and at the same time smiled coldly, and said lightly, Naruto, you should rest for a while. This time, it's not you can interfere. Under Chen's perception, Chen already felt that someone was coming, and the person who came was a special person. Uchiha Sasuke. That's right, Uchiha Sasuke is here too, and things are getting more and more complicated. But Uchiha Sasuke is coming, so Chen is looking forward to what kind of sparks Uchiha Sasuke will collide with Uchiha Itachi. This pair of brothers is indeed the most unique in the Hokage world. Bound Naruto with Mokuden, wood style, and saw Mokuden, wood style, constantly absorbing the chakra of Kyuubi, 9 tails, in Naruto's body. No wonder it is said that Mokuden, wood style, is the best to restrain the tailed beast. With this feature alone, it is indeed enough to make the tailed beast big. Soon, he saw Naruto's body slump to the ground, and he also fainted directly. After Naruto fainted, Tatsu put away the Mokuden, wood style, and looked at Uchiha Itachi. Weasel. What's the matter, Chief? What I said to you just now has come true. Chen said lightly, your younger brother Uchiha Sasuke is here. Uchiha Sasuke. Hearing this name, Uchiha Itachi's pupils shrank, and he was always calm, and even the cold Uchiha Itachi's face showed a hint of hesitation, and immediately became cold, and said coldly, it's so, then let me come to him. A spur. Uchiha Itachi said, took a step forward and walked forward. In the distance, there was a movement, and the sound of clogs hitting the ground could be clearly heard, and a man dressed in Uchiha clan clothes came running. This man was wearing a purple Uchiha national costume. His face was cold, his expression was stern, and his eyes were bloody Yuhi, which was shining with the light of Sharingan. Uchiha Sasuke. Sasuke came running with a Kusanagi sword on his back. This time Sasuke also received news from Orochimaru that Uchiha Itachi was here. This news was specially revealed to Sasuke by Orochimaru, because Orochimaru also knows that Sasuke is not a guy who can be his container with peace of mind, so Orochimaru intends to let Sasuke know the existence of Uchiha Itachi, and then let Sasuke get hit and act as his container. Soon, Sasuke finally entered the stronghold. Sasuke paused and saw Uchiha Itachi. 554 Sharingan vs Sharingan. Uchiha Itachi. Sasuke saw Uchiha Itachi. He almost lost his mind. Sasuke's eyes burst out with intense and hot hatred, and the whole person was instantly motivated by this hatred. Sasuke let out a loud roar and jumped up completely, with anger in his eyes, and shouted, "I'm going to kill you, Uchiha Itachi." There is no doubt about Sasuke's hatred for Uchiha Itachi, only to see that Sasuke is now rushing out, and a strong and dense current is formed around Sasuke. It is Sasuke's Chidori. After being taught Chidori by Kakashi, Sasuke's strength has greatly increased. In the past 4 years, he has received various teachings from Orochimaru. He has grown very quickly. It can even be said that he is currently better than Naruto in the same period. One of a kind. Sasuke roared, his figure flickered, and he was in front of Uchiha Itachi in an instant. At the moment of releasing the instant body technique, he saw Sasuke slash out at the same time, and his Kusanagi sword was full of lightning, and the Chidori sound of chirping and chirping erupted even more, showing great power. This powerful force swept out and stabbed Uchiha Itachi. In fact, this was the first time Uchiha Itachi and Sasuke met after the genocide. Unlike in the original book, the plot of the Hokage world has been changed by Chen, so this is the first time Sasuke has met Uchiha Itachi, and his mood is extraordinarily impulsive and furious. Blink of an eye, I saw that Sasuke was already charging up, and Chidori's range included everything, and he stabbed directly at Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Itachi snorted lightly, standing still without dodging. At this time, he saw Chidori's stab attack, as if it had penetrated directly through Uchiha Itachi's body, but Uchiha Itachi was unmoved. After that, I saw Uchiha Itachi's figure flashed and turned into crows. The crows flew away quietly, flying everywhere in the air, making quack, quack, quack sounds. Crow clone. Uchiha Itachi's own signature ninjutsu. Demonic illusion, when didn't even my Sharingan find out? Sasuke's heart moved, and he couldn't help being horrified, and there was a deep consternation in his eyes. Even his Sharingan didn't find out. When did Uchiha Itachi perform demonic illusion? How strong is Uchiha Itachi's strength? Sasuke felt that Uchiha Itachi's demonic illusion was measurable, and he felt a bit shocked. My stupid brother, your strength has really improved, but you still have a gap with me. You know why? Because our eyes are different. Even if we are Sharingan, your eyes are like mine. At this time, Uchiha Itachi's eyes changed from 3 Tomo's Sharingan to Mangekyo's Sharingan's dart shape. Mangekyo Sharingan. Well, let's try the power of kaleidoscope. Uchiha Itachi said lightly, Tsukuyomi. Once again, Uchiha Itachi used Tsukuyomi on Sasuke. Exist. In Tsukuyomi's world, the scene of Uchiha Itachi killing the entire Uchiha clan was once again screened. This scene was displayed in front of Sasuke's eyes, which made Sasuke feel the shock again, trembling in the fantasy space, and was frightened. Not light. The power of Tsukuyomi shocked Uchiha Sasuke. Sasuke experienced that nightmarish scene once again. Don't do this, stop it, stop it. Sasuke's spiritual world was greatly impacted, and he only felt like he was about to fall. Sasuke roared, almost collapsed, and shouted loudly, but it was of no use. In front of him, his parents and his clan fell one by one, all of which were done by the man in front of him, the man he once admired the most and now hates the most. Sasuke felt at a loss and didn't know what to do, but he was always tormented by this illusion, which made Sasuke feel sad. The fantasy is over. Sasuke seemed to have experienced a big battle, his eyes were blank, he fell directly, and fell to the ground. Sasuke's whole body was covered in cold sweat, as if he had just been soaked in water, and he was soaked all over. He couldn't move at all, looked at Uchiha Itachi with his eyes blank, and subconsciously said in a low voice, "Brother, I'm going to kill my brother." Hearing Sasuke's words, Uchiha Itachi was stunned for a moment, hesitating for a moment in his eyes, but then he said cruelly, "Sasuke, you are too weak, I have shown you the power of my Tsukuyomi, this is the power of my Mangekyo Sharingan. If you want to beat me, come to me with the same eyes, or you will never beat me." Uchiha Itachi maintained a calm and indifferent tone, which filled Sasuke's heart with unwillingness. Sasuke was completely powerless at this time, but he clenched his fists tightly, with a sad look in his eyes, but said firmly, "Uchiha Itachi, I must kill you. HMPH, you are too weak. Your hatred is not strong enough. As I said, come to me when you have the same eyes as mine." Uchiha Itachi said coldly and stepped on Sasuke's hand. At this time, I heard Sasuke let out a scream, and the scream and exclamation came, and it was extremely sad. "Come on, Itachi." Seeing this scene, Chen Yan shook his head slightly and sighed softly. Well. Uchiha Itachi and Chen were about to leave together. Sasuke looked at Uchiha Itachi. There was always a deep hatred in his eyes, and this hatred kept rising. This time, seeing Uchiha Itachi, Sasuke is completely give up. He even had the idea of becoming stronger, which inspired his inner fighting spirit. This hatred made Sasuke fall into the abyss, but it also gained the power of hatred. Mangekyo Sharingan no, I must become stronger, I will kill you. 555 Martyrdom, Black Zetsu appears. Tatsu and Itachi left Akatsuki's stronghold. Deidara had already left, and it seemed that there was a battle coming from Sasori, so Tatsu planned to check it out. In the original book, this is where Sasori was buried. Chen and Uchiha Itachi walked side by side. Chen narrowed his eyes, and said lightly, "Itachi, are you planning to carry all this by yourself? Why don't you tell Sasuke the truth from beginning to end?" "Boss, you must know Sasuke's character very well. He believes that the Uchiha family is a glorious family. If he tells him the truth, I am afraid that his thoughts will be more extreme, and he will even take revenge on Konoha with his thoughts and plans." Strength, how could Konoha be an opponent? Uchiha Itachi sighed and whispered. At this time, Uchiha Itachi suddenly felt a sharp pain in his eyes. This sharp pain came from his eyes. After Uchiha Itachi used the Tsukuyomi of Mangekyo Sharingan just now, he felt a stinging pain in his eyes. The stinging pain made Uchiha Itachi almost unbearable and felt a lot of pain. At the same time, Uchiha Itachi clearly felt that his body was weak and his vision was blurry. "Uchiha Itachi, your body." Chen glanced at Uchiha Itachi. Chen knows that Uchiha Itachi seems to be suffering from some kind of terminal illness, and he also knows that his time is running out, so he uses this extreme method to motivate Sasuke and let Sasuke grow up. Even, Uchiha Itachi has already made all preparations to let himself martyrdom and eventually die, to complete Sasuke, to give Sasuke the power of his Mangekyo Sharingan, and to help Sasuke open his eyes to the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Tatsu understood Uchiha Itachi's thoughts. "I'm fine, Chief." Uchiha Itachi pushed hard. Chen said lightly, "Your terminal illness, you won't survive for a few years." Chen's words, Uchiha Itachi suddenly raised his head and looked at Chen, his eyes full of surprise. There was only one question in Uchiha Itachi's heart: how did Chen know that, really, he couldn't hide everything? When he thought of this, Uchiha Itachi felt extremely surprised and even more shocked. Everything Chen showed has already made Uchiha Itachi feel mysterious, and now he even knows about his terminal illness. To know this is a secret he has been trying so hard to hide. "Actually, your terminal illness is just a trivial matter to me. You also know that my master has a completely different power. Itachi, if you want, I can help you." Chen rode. Uchiha Itachi was silent for a while, then refused. "No need for the leader, I know your kindness." "Oh." Chen was surprised and didn't expect Uchiha Itachi to reject his proposal. Uchiha Itachi said, "I have made a decision on this matter, thank you Chief, I still stick to my own ideas." Chen was stunned for a moment, then chuckled, realizing that Uchiha Itachi was planning to really fulfill Sasuke. From this point of view, Uchiha Itachi really deserves a good brother. Chen sighed softly, "Also, let's do what you think." "Yes." Uchiha Itachi also only nodded. Chen and Uchiha Itachi arrived at the place where Sasori was fighting. and Chen felt a huge chakra fluctuation between them, and this chakra was exactly the chakra made by Sasori. At the same time, Chen even saw more than 100 puppets appearing all around. These puppets were flying in the sky and moving everywhere, and the form they showed was completely terrifying. Has Sasori finally used this move? He claims to be the strongest move, and at the same time manipulates hundreds of puppets to fight, and completes the super puppet technique. Chen whispered. This is also the first time that Uchiha Itachi has seen such a strong puppet technique. Uchiha Itachi was slightly surprised and said, manipulate hundreds of puppets at the same time. Manipulating hundreds of puppets at the same time, but I have never heard of any puppet master who can do it. Uchiha Itachi thought of this and was amazed. While Uchiha Itachi was amazed, he saw that Sasori was manipulating hundreds of puppets to fight against Sakura and Chiyo. Sakura and Chiyo had been cornered at this time, and the situation was actually very dangerous. Chen narrowed his eyes, but felt something unusual. Because Sasori's strength is obviously not that weak. After Sasori has followed Chen to the moon and saw Otsutsuki Hamura's puppet technique, his strength can be said to have improved by leaps and bounds. Among the current Akatsuki, he is also in the forefront. In fact, Sasori's ability is definitely enough to deal with Sakura and Chiyo teaming up. Chen shook his head. It seems that Sasori has always had an old love for Chiyo, and is not willing to kill him from the beginning to the end. It looks like Sasori is doomed. Let's go, Itachi. Chen said lightly. Leader. Itachi was a little strange. Sasori couldn't possibly lose at this time, but looking at the situation of the battle, when Tatsu turned around, he saw the two puppets, father and mother, directly pierced Sasori's heart. Sasori is about to die. However, unlike the original plot, Sasori did not reveal the information of Orochimaru, nor did he reveal the information of Akatsuki, but Enron died. Sasori, the daughter of Akatsuki, who pursues immortality and eternal art, has fallen. Although Sasori's death is similar to the plot, Chen clearly feels the change in the plot, because after Sasori's death is the plot of Naruto and Sasuke meeting, but now it seems to be ahead of schedule. Fortunately, everything is within Chen's control. Chiyo and Sakura finally killed Sasori. At this time, Chiyo killed his most beloved grandson. He was also disheartened and used his life to resurrect Gaara. Sasuke left like a lone wolf and returned to Orochimaru's secret stronghold. When everyone thought this battle was over, a black figure emerged from the ground, with a somewhat sinister smile. It was Black Zetsu. Black Zetsu said coldly in a low voice, "Hey, Uchiha-chan, did you get the Shukaku of one-tailed sand? Hey, it looks like I'm going to appear. I won't let you get the nine-tailed beast so easily." 556 Black Zetsu, get out. Black Zetsu's expression was indifferent, and it became very cold, with bursts of coldness in his eyes. He wanted to organize Chen's plan, especially so that Chen would no longer get the nine-tailed beasts. To this end, Black Zetsu even continued to use the whole cards left by Kagaya-hime. Kagaya-hime left a lot of trump cards for Chen for his own resurrection, and Black Zetsu directly used the strongest trump cards in order to deal with Chen. Now that Chen has realized the yin and yang escape, his strength has grown greatly, which is absolutely terrifying, and even the original Six Paths Immortal must be a little bit afraid of Chen. Seeing that Chen's strength has now reached to what extent. Black Zetsu is also very cautious. He also knows that Chen is not easy to deal with, so when facing Chen, he also made multiple designs before thinking of how to deal with Chen. From Black Zetsu's point of view, his plan is absolutely flawless, enough to deal with Chen. Uchiha-chan, just wait, hee, I will let you die without a burial. Black Zetsu sneered, showing a deep anger. He glanced around, only to see that Akatsuki lost one person with Sasori's death. However, Black Zetsu did not take it lightly. On the contrary, it was more cautious and even more serious. Because Black Zetsu is very clear, Akatsuki's master has no influence on Tatsu's strength. Even if Akatsuki's master is damaged too much, it will be the end of the world. Because that means that Chen will take action in person. How could the 9 big-tailed beasts be able to stop them before being collected by Chen in minutes? So Black Zetsu behaved very cautiously. Using my layout, let's kill Uchiha Chen first. Success or failure is here. The front is just a desert in the land of wind. There is no one in the wilderness, so it is suitable for battle. Black Zetsu's eyes flickered, and he said to himself. This time, Black Zetsu acted alone. He didn't tell White Zetsu, let alone Obito. Black Zetsu has always been disguised and hidden in front of Obito, and now both Obito and White Zetsu only think that Black Zetsu is the aggregate of Uchiha Madara's will. In the land of the wind, the sky is full of yellow sand, and the sound of the whirring wind blows, and the sound of whirring is rolled up. The wind greets 10 miles and dances wildly everywhere. The weather in the land of winds is still so bad, still so uncomfortable. At this time, in the wind and sand that filled the sky, Chen and Uchiha Itachi walked side by side. Soon, it seemed that he felt something. Chen narrowed his eyes slightly, as if he had sensed something, and waved at Uchiha Itachi, saying, Itachi, you step back first, there may be a fight later. Leader. Uchiha Itachi was slightly puzzled, and was shocked when he heard the words, but seeing Chen's serious expression, he was still slightly stunned, and quickly nodded and stepped back. Uchiha Itachi retreated a full 100 meters, and Chen Mi, facing the air in front of him, said indifferently, you are still pretending to be a ghost, Black Zetsu, but I underestimated you and kept forgetting about you. Come on. Black Zetsu. Chen also sensed the existence of Black Zetsu. Uchiha-chan, you actually found out. He is indeed an existence that Madara has always been afraid of. At this time, there was a hoarse voice. It was Black Zetsu. Soon, Black Zetsu appeared in front of Tatsuya. Black Zetsu gave a gloomy smile, and his figure appeared in the yellow sand. As the yellow sand danced wildly, Black Zetsu's expression became more and more gloomy. Distance. Uchiha Itachi frowned slightly. Uchiha Itachi could feel the unusualness of Black Zetsu. This is definitely a bit tricky guy, but it should not be a cause for concern. After all, although Black Zetsu is difficult to deal with, at best it is a cage-level powerhouse, which is not the same as today's Tatsuya. I can't believe that you still remember me, Uchiha-chan. It's a great honor. It seems that I really want to entertain you today. Black Zetsu whispered. Chen said, Black Zetsu, you misunderstood, I don't care about you at all. I just thought you were ugly, so I was impressed by you. Chen chuckled. This sentence made Black Zetsu angry. Black Zetsu angrily said, Uchiha-chan, don't be too complacent. I have already made arrangements today, and I will kill you after everything is done. So that you can no longer hinder the resurrection of the mother. In fact, even Black Zetsu is not very clear. No matter how Tishin stops Kagaya-hime's resurrection, with Kagaya-hime's strength, sooner or later, he will be able to break through the seal arranged by the Six Paths Sage and Otsutsuki Hamura. So even Chen did not deliberately prevent Kagaya-hime's resurrection, but just wanted to delay Kagaya-hime's resurrection time, so that Chen's strength reached the level of rivalry with Kagaya-hime. Kill me. Chen narrowed his eyes and shook his head. It's just you, I'm afraid it's not enough. A word. Black Zetsu was furious, but Black Zetsu suppressed his anger and snorted coldly. Of course I don't rely on myself. I will let you see my trump card, my mother's layout for thousands of years, and how could your master understand it? Black Zetsu snorted coldly, bursting out with powerful power, and the chakra around him surged out. The distance. Uchiha Itachi looked at all this with a little surprise in his heart, faintly feeling that he had come into contact with a great thing and a secret. Who is the mother in the mouth of this black guy? And it seems that he knows the identity of the other party very well. He was even afraid of him. What the hell was going on? Uchiha Itachi watched quietly, thinking about this matter in his heart. At the same time, Chen saw strong forces surging out of Black Zetsu's body, which formed a terrifying shock force, and it seemed that Black Zetsu was using all his strength. The chakra belonging to Black Zetsu emerged, and Black Zetsu said confidently, "Uchiha-chan, I will show you what the strongest power is. The art of psychic." 557 Indra. The art of psychic. I saw was Black Zetsu roaring loudly, with coldness in Yin Chi-Chi's eyes, roaring out a psychic technique. Chen narrowed his eyes, wondering what kind of psychic technique Black Zetsu planned to use to deal with him, waiting for Black Zetsu's move. At this time, I saw Black Zetsu in action. A majestic and shocking chakra surged out. This chakra did not come from Black Zetsu himself, but from the thing he channeled. It was only seen that it was a humanoid body. This body is all black, exuding a strange aura, as if it came from hell. This human-shaped body is clearly a corpse. Corpse. Chen narrowed his eyes. This corpse is very special. Although the whole body is black, the outline of the face can be seen. It looks like the breath of the Otsutsuki clan, but the color of the corpse has changed. It feels like it belongs to the Otsutsuki clan. Uchiha Itachi frowned in the distance, feeling that the person in front of him was just a corpse, but he had an extraordinary power. The energy contained in this body is really explosive. But seeing Uchiha Itachi felt the terrifying power contained in this person's body, and secretly said, "So that's it, your cards are the corpses of the Otsutsuki clan." Chen looked at Black Zetsu. In Chen's impression, Black Zetsu really has the ability to possess the body. Chen also roughly understood what Black Zetsu was trying to do. Black Zetsu wanted to fight Chen by attaching himself to this corpse. That said, the corpse of the Otsutsuki clan is absolutely extraordinary. Chen looked at the corpse carefully. At this time the corpse closed his eyes. Chen could only see the general features, but he didn't fully understand it, so he could not help frowning slightly. "Hey, Uchiha-chan, you guessed right. But this corpse of mine is not an ordinary corpse. You will be shocked if you know his origin." Black Zetsu sneered. "This is the son of Otsutsuki Hagoromo, the legendary corpse of Indra. This corpse contains amazing power. He is extremely powerful, even the ancestor of your Uchiha clan. The son of the Six Paths Immortal, Indra's corpse." A stunned look flashed in Chen's eyes, and at the same time, the voice of the Six Paths Immortal came from the ring in Chen's hand. Six Paths Immortal said, "Boy, be careful, I can feel that the corpse of my eldest son Indra is right. Damn, I didn't expect this Black Zetsu to have such a thing. This Black Zetsu's breath is so similar to his mother's breath, he's probably a symbol of his mother's will." Although the old man of Six Paths didn't participate in the previous battle, he also made a rough guess and knew that Black Zetsu was terrifying. Chen said solemnly, "Yes, I really didn't expect Black Zetsu to hide such a big whole card, and even get Indra's body. Indra, this is absolutely terrifying. Original." The Black Zetsu in the book does not have such a whole card. It seems that Chen Chuan caused the butterfly effect, or the Black Zetsu in the original book actually has a whole card, but before the whole card is used, Kagaya Haim has been successfully summoned. Black Zetsu smiled gloomily. "Uchiha Chen, you see it, I see if you can still be so arrogant, I will let you open your eyes and see the strength of Indra. Actually, there is a reason why Black Zetsu got Indra's body. Indra inherited the spiritual power of the Six Paths old man, possessing the eye of a fairy. He is very arbitrary and thinks that power is everything. Indra's thoughts were not recognized by the Six Paths old man, and finally the Six Paths Immortal chose to let his younger brother Asura as his successor. Unable to accept this, Indra fought a long battle with his younger brother Ashura at the instigation of Black Zetsu. After Indra's death, Black Zetsu collected Indra's body as a trump card. Indra is definitely an extremely terrifying existence. As Black Zetsu spoke, he moved his body and quickly attached himself to Indra. Seeing only Black Zetsu, he took control of Indra's body. As Indra's body moved, a powerful force immediately emerged, a chakra exploded, and Indra's corpse opened its eyes. 3 tomo belonging to Sharingan appeared, and the pattern of Sharingan changed, forming an explosive force. Hey, Uchiha-chan, enjoy yourself, this battle is specially prepared for you. Under my arrangement, the strength of Indra's body at this time has reached the peak state of the heyday. But I also paid the price for this, the power of this body can only be used once. But it's enough for you. Black Zetsu let out a gloomy smile, and the voice came out. It turned out that Black Zetsu was carefully arranged, and at this time, Indra's power has been restored to its peak state, and a lot of effort has been put into dealing with Chen. Uchiha Itachi was already unable to move, completely subverted by all this. According to legend, Indra, the son of the Six Paths Sage, the ancestor of the Uchiha family, actually appeared in front of him and was controlled by this mysterious shadow. Susanoo. But saw Black Zetsu roaring, using Indra's body to open the full-body Susanoo. At this time, Indra's body exploded with the peak power before birth, and a deep purple spread out, followed by the appearance of Susanoo in the form of a Tengu, a deep purple complete Susanoo. The power of the complete Susanoo should not be underestimated. The terrifying power was displayed, causing Chen to narrow his eyes slightly. In fact, Indra's power is very similar to Sasuke, who got his inheritance power from the Six Paths Sage in the middle and late period of the original work. After all, Sasuke is also the reincarnation of Indra. If you only have a full-body Susanoo, then I'm afraid I'm going to be disappointed. Chen said lightly. 558 The first yin and yang confrontation. Under the control of Black Zetsu, Indra showed extraordinary power. First of all, he used the complete Susanoo, and the deep purple made the surrounding terrain appear a piece of depression. Fortunately, this is a large desert area, so that Black Zetsu and Chen can give it a shot without any scruples. It's not enough, Uchiha-chan, don't be too loud. Indra still has the power of yin that has not been used. Spoke, Black Zetsu smiled coldly. Indra showed great strength. Black Zetsu controlled Susanoo, who was a complete body, and attacked Chen directly. Chen narrowed his eyes and felt this overwhelming power, and he also showed a playful look. Well, since you are so interested, I will play with you. While talking, Chen also used his Susanoo. Complete Susanoo. Chen whispered. Suddenly, I saw Chen's Susanoo burst out. The golden light was like the sun, illuminating the entire desert. It seemed to appear in the sky above the desert. Two suns, one is the real sun, the other is the real sun. Tatsu's Susanoo light. Tatsu Susanoo's appearance made Black Zetsu a little more serious. HMPH, then let's see whose Susanoo is stronger. However, he saw Black Zetsu shouting angrily, spreading his wings on Indra's Susanoo, and at the same time Susanoo flying in the sky, in an instant, as if a purple sun appeared in the sky again. Earth shook, and the wind and clouds changed color. Chen smiled coldly, and Susanoo, who was also controlling himself, only saw Chen's Susanoo also soar up and collided with Indra's Susanoo. Boom! A loud bang came and burst out, the loud bang continued, and the surroundings seemed to be shaken by a big earthquake. Chen and Susanoo of Indra, this is a real attack. Relying entirely on the quality of chakra, and the strength of Susanoo are colliding. These two behemoths slammed together. Black Zetsu's complexion changed slightly. In the impact just now, he felt the extraordinariness of Chen's Susanoo. The quality and strength of Chen's Susanoo are very terrifying, and even faintly stronger than Indra's Susanoo. How could this be? Black Zetsu didn't understand a little, he just felt that Susanoo was extremely powerful. Damn, Uchiha-chan, I don't believe you can still win. Unwilling to do so, Black Zetsu shouted angrily, the arrow of Indra. Chen was slightly surprised. In the original book, this trick is famous. Sasuke used the complete Susanoo as a container to integrate the chakras of the nine-tailed beasts, and finally created the complete Susanoo to complete this technique, which has the power to destroy the world. But obviously the current Black Zetsu is not so strong. The Black Zetsu released this Indra's. Ya just used Indra's complete body, Susanoo, as a container, and unleashed an overwhelming power. A spiritual bow appearing on the purple Susanoo. This spiritual bow released the power of chakra, burst out, and shot the arrow of chakra directly at Chen. In an instant, Chen felt it. Enormous power. A suffocating pressure struck. Tiankong Cloud Sword. At this time, Chen also used chakra and Tiankong Yunjian to condense into a sword beam, facing the huge power of the arrow of Indra. At this time, even the space seemed to be cracked. Black Zetsu controlled Indra, bursting out a powerful force and aura, and the arrow of Indra blasted out. When the shot came, the space instantly solidified, and bursts of energy were emitted. Chen controlled Tiankong Yunjian, and suddenly burst out with a banging power. The two collided. Bang bang bang. This time, a violent sound broke out, and the sky and the earth were affected by this strong sound. The space was chaotic, everywhere there are fissures in the space. The power of the Tiankong Cloud Sword and Indra's arrow collided. Chen's Susanoo actually resisted the blow. This Black Zetsu was extremely surprised. He never thought that Chen would block this blow so easily. This Uchiha Chen really has extremely terrifying power. Only seeing the confrontation between the two complete Susanoos, in this desert, it seems that the terrain has been changed. The yellow sand on the desert is blown away madly, and there is a chill everywhere. The desert terrain changed, the space was shocked, and even blank areas appeared in the desert for dozens of miles, and no one could approach. Even the aftermath of the battle between the two made Uchiha Itachi in the distance had to turn on Susanoo to resist, otherwise he would be wiped out between the two. And Black Zetsu found himself completely wrong in estimating Chen's strength. But this is the end, and Black Zetsu can't do anything about it. Black Zetsu could only bite the bullet and continue to use Indra's power. This time, facing Indra, Chen also felt a trace of unusual power. Black Zetsu bit Kiba and said, "I don't believe that you can resist even the shadows. I will defeat you with the power of the shadows of Indra." Shadow. Chen narrowed his eyes and whispered lightly, "It's not. You are the only one who can escape, and I will too." Chen spoke, he raised his hands and released his Susanoo. And Black Zetsu also disarmed Indra's Susanoo. The two looked at each other and understood that each other's next ultimate move was a yin and yang escape. Chen also showed a slightly dignified expression, and it can be said that this is the first time Chen has used yin-yang escape in actual combat. He wants to show Black Zetsu the horror of yin and yang escape. More, ask the automatic watermelon too. 559 Chen's eye variation. Tilde open black lens bracket 1 update, close black lens bracket. Yin escape, turn thunder. However, I saw that on the Indra controlled by Black Zetsu, the power of yin escape broke out. This power was deep and terrifying, and it had a strong attack power. The thunder was densely covered, and it exploded. The power flashed, and the strong pressure hit, making Chengdu feel the extreme pressure. When yin and yang escaped, it was truly extraordinary. As expected of Indra, this power. Chen lightly sighed with emotion, and there was a hint of surprise in his eyes, because the power was so strong that it surprised him too. Indra's strength is still on top of Madara, who has not become 6 paths. He is close to Sasuke, who has obtained the 6 paths immortal yin escape inheritance. Boy, be careful, this battle is very crucial. Indra is very strong. He has inherited my yin power, and can use the yin power to ultimate. There are not many people who can stop him. But I heard the voice of the 6 paths immortal, reminding Chen. Old man, I know, you don't need to tell me. Chen snorted softly and said coldly. This battle is indeed very crucial. Chen must win Black Zetsu, and then kill Black Zetsu, to solve this problem completely. Black Zetsu can be said to play a very important role in the Hokage world, but Black Zetsu's own strength is not enough. How strong is it? But the computing power is definitely the top in the Hokage world. He first tricked Indra to deal with Asura. It is to tamper with the Uchiha stone tablet left by the 6 paths immortal, let Uchiha Madara get it, and then disguise it as the will created by Uchiha Madara, obey Uchiha Madara, and gain Uchiha Madara's trust at the same time. Uchiha Madara believed the words on the six paths steel, so he pursued the infinite Tsukuyomi plan, only to find it was a big hole, but it was too late. Black Zetsu kept Obito and Uchiha Madara in a desperate situation, and released Kagaya Hime. It can be said that Black Zetsu is the conspirator who runs through the entire Hokage world. Many conspiracies are planned by Black Zetsu, so Chen is always vigilant against Black Zetsu. It's just that I haven't found a suitable opportunity to kill Black Zetsu before, and now I finally let Black Zetsu pop out. How could Chen let Black Zetsu kill? It must be killed, Chen thought to himself, his eyes filled with murderous intent. I saw that Black Zetsu manipulated Indra to release the Yin Dungeon, which came in a strong attack. The Yin Dung, with its might and explosive force, attracted the thunder and lightning in the sky, and shrouded it towards Chen. What was shocking was that, perhaps because of the addition of Yin Dun, these thunderbolts turned black, which was extremely terrifying, flashing and slashing down, hitting Chen. The surrounding yellow sand was all attracted by the thunder and lightning, and the sound was constantly resounding. The momentum was huge, grand and shocking. This powerful force is coming towards Chen. Not to be outdone, Chen said coldly, Yin and Yang escape, Xuantian's hand. The hand of Xuantian. I only saw that in an instant, the power of Yin and Yang escaped out, and an explosive force surged up, this powerful Yin. The power of Yang is displayed, and the Yin and Yang chakra forms a big hand, which falls from the sky and seems to contain everything. The big hand was pitch black, and unlike Chen's previous Sen Luo's hand, it exuded a stronger power. Of Yin and Yang is in the palm of your hand. The hand of Xuantian erupted, descending from the sky, and came under pressure. Huge explosive power and attack power were displayed, and the power of Yin-Yang escape was truly extraordinary. Under the manipulation of Chen, this hand of Zantian showed the strongest posture, and even directly tore apart the black lightning that filled the sky. The power of Chen's hand of Xuantian exploded, tearing the sky directly. This huge force was so terrifying that it could tear the sky apart. But at this moment, I saw the two collide with each other. The airflow around them kept blasting, the yellow sand in the sky all turned into powder, the sky was gloomy and dark, and the space around seemed to have cracks. Were cracks everywhere, and the desert had dropped by at least 10 meters because of the confrontation between Chen and Black Zetsu. The yellow sand was flying, forming a sandstorm, which drifted into the distance, and terrifying disasters came everywhere, just like the end of the day. It was horrible. But when he saw it in the distance, Uchiha Itachi saw this scene, and there was a trace of fear in his eyes. He said softly, a pair of Sharingan kept turning, and he felt the terrible breath. Chen's strength, as well as the powerful Yin and Yang escape, made Uchiha Itachi move, knowing how powerful Chen is. At the same time, Uchiha Itachi was even more curious about the identity of Black Zetsu, and he already had some guesses in his heart, but Uchiha Itachi didn't understand enough about the stone tablets of the Uchiha family, and he didn't know about Kagaya Hime and others, and there were only some vague guesses. However, seeing that the Yin escape released by Indra was instantly deciphered by Chen using the Yin and Yang escape, Chen had a general understanding of Black Zetsu's current strength in manipulating Indra. Indra's corpse has been damaged in many places from the attack just now, and Chen suffered from the aftermath, but also has some damage, but Chen's body can be called pervert, and soon recovered, quickly recovered, even a little bit. No scars were left. The embodiment of Chen Yin-Yang Dun's cultivation to a powerful ultimate. Uchiha Chen. Black Zetsu was finally a little panicked. He found that his ultimate move seemed to be very difficult to help Chen, while Chen, on the other hand, handled him with ease and ease. A trace of astonishment flashed in Black Zetsu's eyes, and he looked at Chen. While Chen was fighting with Indra possessed by Black Zetsu, he gradually felt the awakening of a power that seemed to come from within Chen's body, causing his physical condition to change. I only saw Chen feel a scorching light in his eyes, the color of blood Yuhi appeared in his eyes, that pair of purple Rinagons, unexpectedly, unconsciously, there seems to be some kind of mutation. What's going on? Chen himself was quite surprised. Boy, your eyes. The voice of the Six Paths Fairy also sounded at the right time. 560 Samsara Sharingan. Open black lens bracket for automatic reward. Close black lens bracket. That's right, Chen's eyes have changed. During the battle with Indra, Chen also felt the gradual changes in his body, especially the huge changes that appeared in his eyes. Boy, your eyes seem to have a tendency to change. You really have a pair of very good eyes. The Six Paths Fairy is amazing. Chen also felt that his eyes were burning, and he seemed to be turning bloody. You must know that ordinary Rinnegan is purple, and Chen's Tomo Rinnegan is also purple, but now it is 6 Tomo. The moment, his Rinnegan has a tendency to change. Chen can clearly feel that his Rinnegan has the feeling of evolution, and the power of yin in the Rinnegan is constantly increasing, which is by no means ordinary. Your Rinnegan is not ordinary. Now there may be a tendency to evolve into Samsara Sharingan. Samsara Tomo Sharingan, these are the eyes that only mothers have. The exclamation of the Six Paths Fairy came, and she was horrified and said in a stunned voice. Chen's heart moved slightly. Hearing what the Six Paths Fairy said, his Rinnegan is truly extraordinary. Turned out to be the reincarnation Tomo Sharingan. In the Hokage world in the original book, the only person who has 9 Tomo reincarnation Sharingan is the big Kagaya Haim of the Hokage world. Kagaya Haim's strength is extraordinary. As the first person to swallow the fruit of the divine tree, a 19 Tomo's reincarnation Sharingan also appeared on her forehead. It can be said that this is also the embodiment of Kagaya Haim's terrible power reaching ultimate. But today's Chen has also started to mutate in his eyes, and even Chen's eyes are unpredictable, as if he has reincarnation Sharingan. Of course, the current Chen's eyes are still in the process of mutation, and even Chen himself does not understand why this happens. I know, boy, it must be that when you fought with Indra, you absorbed the power of yin from Indra, which triggered the change of yin in your body. The Six Paths Immortal seemed to have analyzed the reason and said lightly. A hint of understanding flashed in Chen's eyes, and the Six Paths Immortal seemed to be right. After all, what Indra inherited is the power of Yin Dun, and the power of Yin Dun is the spiritual power, which is closely related to the pupil power of the eyes. Indra is dead. If you can absorb the power of Indra, you may be able to complete the complete evolution of your eyes and truly possess the Sharingan of reincarnation. The Six Paths Sage whispered, "It's a pity, Indra. After all, Indra is the son of the Six Paths Sage, so the Six Paths Sage is still somewhat melancholy." Hearing the immortal Six Paths say this, Chen felt slightly in his heart that this was indeed an opportunity for him. Mind, Chen's eyes flashed, and he looked at Black Zetsu again. It seems that this time he really should thank Black Zetsu. If it wasn't for Black Zetsu, how could he have come across this by chance? Black Zetsu was in control of Indra's corpse and felt extremely troublesome. Even Black Zetsu never thought that Chen's strength would be so unfathomable, indeed it can only be described as unfathomable. Chen and Indra fought, and there was no exhaustion or consumption in the slightest. Contrary, looking at Black Zetsu was out of breath and felt the load. No way, Black Zetsu's manipulation of Indra like this would indeed be a huge burden. But since things had come to this point, he could only bite the bullet and fight Chen. Black Zetsu can only pray that his next ultimate move to control Indra will be effective, and he can make Chen obediently obey, and even kill Chen. As everyone knows, Chen is also thinking about this idea in his heart. The battle has dragged on for too long. This time, Black Zetsu must be killed. We must find a way to eliminate the troubles forever. Was absolutely disgusted with Black Zetsu, and she was ready to use all her strength immediately. Sen Luo's domain. Chen let out a low voice, only to see the realm of Sen Luo showing. This is the space control power Chen obtained after obtaining Rinnegan. Just as Uchiha Madara has the Limbo Border Jail, the trump card of Limbo Border Jail, Chen's Senra's domain is also quite terrifying. For a time, Black Zetsu only felt a strong pressure hit, and even the surrounding space was blocked. The pressure made one feel as if he was in an ice cellar, and he felt cold from head to toe. Black Zetsu groaned in his heart, and secretly said that it was not good. Chen, the realm of Senluo, showed his strength, and directly controlled Black Zetsu from this space. Black Zetsu felt the power of destruction, and secretly said, "Not good." Black Zetsu roared, "Yin escape, Blackwater lazy. Blackwater razor. This is also a super strong yin escape. I only saw the roar accompanied by Black Zetsu, and then saw a vision in the sky, and even black clouds appeared in the sky. A huge black thunderbolt fell from the sky. The rumbling sound was incessant, and it erupted wildly. The power of black thunder and lightning was displayed. Bunch of thunder and lightning flashed at the same time as the dense thunder cloud. The light shone in this space, and the thunder and lightning slashed, and it turned out that the thunder and lightning were directly triggered. Of manipulating thunder and lightning is even more sophisticated than Chen's Kirin. Of course, this method of manipulating lightning, Chen can also do it now. I only saw Chen sneer and said indifferently, "It's not bad the power of yin escape, it's a pity that in my Senluo domain, I'm a god. Everything in this world must be controlled by me, and you also want to compete with me." Speaking, I only saw Chen's Senluo domain unfolding, forming a protective barrier around Chen, directly blocking the countless thunderbolts in the sky, like a barrier. With all this, there is a deep shock. He couldn't be more clear about the power of this Yin Dun, but now that he saw Chen's release of Yin Dun's power to block, he was still completely shocked, scared to death. Indra's shady escape was actually resisted by such an understatement. Please automatically give a reward. Please download Filu's novel.